You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
Bloody oath. All right, welcome back to Hello Sport Podcast, Boxing Day edition. Of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. Merry Christmas to one and all, and to one and all a Merry Christmas. This is a best of podcast, to be honest with you, but, you know, the corporate dollar sleeps for no punter or dribbler, and whilst the best of will be a mere moments away, and what a 2022 it was, we do obviously have some contractual obligations that we do have to adhere to in order for us to continue to sun our dicks over this holiday period.
You've absolutely nailed it, Tom. Merry Christmas to the punter and the dribbler, and a very Merry Christmas at that. I need to remind everyone at this time of year, although it's a best of, Tom and I will bend over for the corporate dollar. We have bent over for the corporate dollar. And essentially what this intro is us bent over.
Mid-bend. Yeah.
You know, and KO's having their way with us, but we love it. We absolutely love it. Because they're the best in the business.
Consensual.
Because they're the best in the business. They're the best in the business, Tom.
I'm trying to get myself fucking sorted.
The best in the business. I want to say off the top, Tom, because off the rip, I just have to get it off my chest. There's no other way to put it. I am incredibly disappointed that our leader Pat Cummins has taken a look at this wicket rather, and decided to bowl. He's let me down.
I don't. I mean, I haven't had enough time this morning, and when we talk cricket, we do it thanks to good friends at KO. I don't know if you picked that up. I haven't seen enough. Such has been my morning. I just went and, you know, I had a little dalliance in the waves, a dance among the waves, a whimsical frolic amongst the ocean blue this morning. And so I didn't get to fully understand what the fuck's going on when I come and I see that we're bowling on Boxing Day. Now, listen, like Patrick has... You know, he chose to bowl at the Gabba, and we rolled those losers inside 2 days. Now, not a great test, but has Pat just got a little bit too horny for bowling first after a quick test?
Look, Tom, I'm not going to sit here and say for a second that Pat's got too high on Pat's supply. I'm not saying that.
No,
I'd never say that.
No.
I'd never say that.
I didn't say that either.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. You're not saying that. I am, however, on my Boxing Day morn, shocked that we aren't batting. I mean, the prawns are but moments away, Tom. David Warner in his 100th test almost certainly raises the bat. That's the way I saw it going. And instead, we're bowling on a pitch that's not doing much, a pitch that looks like most day one pitches you've ever fucking seen, which is fine. But I would have liked to have batted. That's all. It's Boxing Day's better when we bat. Boxing Day's better when we bat. It's as simple as that.
If you lose the toss and you don't get to bat first, whatever. But if you win, and Pat's having one of the great runs of toss wins, I believe.
Yep.
Fuck. Unless the thing is as green as, green gets. I don't entirely understand it. But again, I was frolicking amongst the waves and I haven't heard the experts' opinion, so I can't...
Look, the experts have got an eyebrow raised, Tom, because at the end of the day, it's not photosynthesis green. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not photosynthesis. It's not photosynthesis green. And so I'm asking myself, if someone says to you, Tom, do you want to have a bat? You're going to say, I'll have a bat. No one's turned down a bat.
No, unless the green is such that photosynthesis is taking place mid-test.
I'm not getting photosynthesis vibes off the pitch, Tom, off the wicket. I'm not there.
No.
I'm not at the fucking ground level. I know you aren't. I'm in Dubbo, hot as fuck, 37 en route.
30. Oh, yes, there we go. Scotty bowling.
Scotty B.
With the fucking break.
Scotty B.
Thank
Scotty
you,
B,
Scott.
we trust. In Scotty B, we trust.
Great decision to bowl first. What a fucking
great
call
decision
from
to
Pat.
bowl. As we were saying, great decision to bowl.
As we were saying, that's one of the great calls.
Decisions to bowl. Because you know what they could be doing? They might be going, listen, this fucking lineup's so beta, so inferior, so pathetic. that we could roll them by lunch and get into our work for fucking sessions 2 and 3. That
And
could be the thinking.
Well, exactly, and let's put these South African beaters under some pressure. That what, like, of course we could bat first, but let's put their batsmen under pressure. Pat, what an inspired decision, and I always felt that there was method to perceive madness, and it's just great to see that I knew what I was talking about.
Well, we always knew, Tom.
We all, we knew what we were talking about.
Listen, people have called us the greatest cricketing minds in the country. I don't think that's too far from the mark.
Obviously, it makes me blush, Eddie, but it's not incorrect.
I mean, most people are here for our X's and O's knowledge when it comes to the red ball and the white, Tom. Mainly the red, because it's it's the church in which
the pink
and the pink, the church in which we fucking praise the red and the pink, but sometimes the white. And listen, other people's words, not ours. You and I know what we're talking about.
Great decision to bowl. Great
decision to bowl. However, I will still say this. Prawns taste better when we're batting. It's as simple as that.
No,
there's no getting around from that.
I've got prawns loaded in the fridge.
So do I. I've got 1.5 kilos. Dad got them.
Yeah.
He was thrilled to tell me, Tom, that the prawns he bought were fresh.
You'd fucking want them to be fresh.
Which is where my mind went. I thought, Dad, for God's sake, do you buy prawns that aren't fresh?
Yeah, because then
for Boxing Day.
I mean,
because
now
then
we've got some real questions.
Now I'm looking to fucking Now I'm looking to leave, basically.
Yeah,
I'm in the car and I'm heading back to. I'm in the car and I'm heading back to Dubbo, back to Sydney, and I've got fucking Grandstand on the radio because I can't watch it on KO because I'm driving. If the prawns aren't fresh, luckily he bought fresh prawns.
If they aren't, you've already probably had one, and you want to be plotting your roadside shitters on the way back to Sydney.
Listen, he's promised me fresh prawns. Let's see if he delivers. Like I say, I'm but moments away. I'm probably say 33 minutes away.
Do fresh prawns get flown into Dubbo of a morning? Like, how fresh can we get them?
Listen, I don't want to shock you, Tom. I don't want to upset you, but I think most prawns that people eat are frozen, then unfrozen.
Nah, mate, not mine. Not
you don't
mine,
reckon?
Bro. Nah, prawns I'm eating literally still fucking flapping
still
around.
Kicking.
Yep.
Well, good for you, buddy. Listen, they put on the Dubbo Express and fucking shipped Eddie quick smart, mate. Sometimes they're not frozen. Sometimes if there's a bit of congestion, if there's a bit of traffic over the mountains, then they won't arrive fresh. They'll arrive off. But you roll the dice out here, buddy. It's as simple as that.
No, you do. Well, mate, it's part of the fun of living in the bush, mate. Always said it.
Part of the fun of living in the bush. Roll the dice with your prawns and your seafood.
Now, Scotty Boland, he's kept the country boy out of the side. And
did I hear correctly, Tom, that the country boy removed himself from selection?
Oh, again, I don't want to flog a dead horse here. I don't know, Eddie, because I have been mermaid man all day. Just fucking, and by all day I mean maybe 15 minutes.
I believe I heard that last night on the news that the country boy pulled himself out of the selection race, as it were. Scotty B given the nod. Obviously, 6 for 7 at the G Fame. Scotty B's already taken a scalp. I expect several more. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, bro.
Did the country boy pull himself out because of injury, or did he pull himself out and go like Scotty B should be at the queue?
I don't know. What I do know is that I think the country boy likes to put the nation first. So it would not shock me for a second if he's gone, listen, I've seen the fucking way Scotty's bowling in the nets. I saw the way Scotty B got into his work at the Gabba. And I think the nation on the day of days comes first.
The nation does come first. And you're right, that's maybe how the country boy has approached this. And if it is, it's kudos to him. Sometimes the writing's on the wall, and maybe they went, walk before you pushed.
Potentially. It's a funny saying.
In a respectful manner.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's utmost respect when it comes to the country boy. But Scotty B, the G, makes sense. Makes people feel nice. Makes people feel warm and fuzzy inside. There was a lovely memoriam to Shane before the game, Tom.
Yeah,
which I like to see.
I was really keen to see it, and then I was like, surely this thing will be on Instagram inside the hour. was nice. Was it emotional?
Yeah, a bit of Coldplay underneath it, mate. You know.
Is it wrong for me to have assumed, hoped, demanded almost that they wear black armbands for this test, for the whole fucking thing for Shane, both sides? Like, I know he died close to a year ago. That doesn't fucking matter to me. This is
for a national treasure, Tom. For a national treasure, I don't think you're asking too much. Quite frankly, I don't think you're asking too much. Not for a national treasure.
Black armband stuff. Like,
surely black armbands for Shane. Now I know they've been worn already for Shane, but I'd ask you this: do you think Shane has earned it to wear black armbands for him at the G in the first test at the fucking MCG since he passed? I don't think that's too big of an ask.
I think it would have been,
classy.
The least you could do, classy. I will say this, Eddie, you were just saying Scotty B at the G. Now, I'm not for a second saying that you coined that phrase. Maybe you did. But Mark Wall literally, as we watch the cricket on KO, just goes, Scotty B at the G. That does have a good ring to it. And I'm like, were you listening? Are we going live on KO right now?
Well, would that shock you?
Mate, tell you what, the crowds had come back. Is this a disappointing crowd at fucking, and I don't mean to KO and Fox Cricket, obviously their crowds are massive. Is there, I'm not, this crowd hasn't blown my dick off just looking at the day one crowd. I know people meander in, it's Boxing Day. People are still working through the digestion of yesterday's meals, but like...
Tom, first things first, people do wander. People move very slowly on Boxing Day. They wander in.
Do you reckon it's the slowest day of the year?
It's the slowest day of the year by a country mile. The reality is, Tom, that this series doesn't invoke the same emotion as an Ashes or an Indian series. Couple that with the fact that Test 1 was over inside of 2 days, and it probably doesn't fucking... prime the nation as much as other series could. But people meander on Boxing Day, mate. They're meandering in. They'll meander in all day, Tom. You know that. You can be sure of that, mate.
It's one of the great aspects, actually, isn't it, really? That you can meander as much as you want.
It's compulsory. It's compulsory to meander on Boxing Day, I've always found.
Yeah.
One must meander on Boxing Day.
I like the silence on the streets. I went down for a walk just to get a coffee this morning, and you can just hear a car 4 streets away. That's it. You're like, this is slow moving shit.
There was only one place open for coffee in Dubbo. One. Shout out to the Village Hot Bake. Go on the big lift on Boxing Day.
Go on a huge lift, but also probably making that sweet, sweet cheddar.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Now, listen.
Maybe not.
It is a best of. So we do have to get on with meandering, you and I. You to the backyard where I saw you slip and slide, and I to the backyard where I have to build a fucking seesaw and a trampoline in the hot Australian sun.
That sounds awful. Did you like my slip and slide?
I did like your slip and slide. The girls got a slip and slide as well, which we haven't used. But
can I tell you a funny story before we go?
You can.
So, we've also got an inflatable pool that Ella got gifted fucking a while ago. We bought it up, and I nipped up to Bunnings, got the last foot pump in the town of Dubbo, pumped that bitch up. Then I turned my attention to the slip and slide. Oh.
Yeah, no. I'm like half a second in front of you. I'm half a second in front of you. I was like, oh.
It's a bit delayed out here in Dubbo.
I get it.
And we turn our attention to the slip and slide. I'm like, that nozzle's really fucking big. Like, all these settings I've got for the foot pump aren't going to fit that. So we're going to have to mouth this bitch. It's hot out there. It's fucking hot. It's 33, 34 degrees. Stifling. I'm mouthing it. Breather. Sister comes over, starts pounding that thing. Breather. Ella in there, pounding it. Breather. Dad's. And we're just cycling through it. And we're like, we're not making any fucking progress with this thing at all. Like, breather. Let's just calm down. We'll go again. Just start pounding it again. We're probably out there 15, 20 minutes just trying to blow this fucking thing up. Then we realise there's holes all through it. And there's holes all through it because you plug the fucking hose in and it sprinkles out. And what we're trying to blow up is where you release the water.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Dad almost had a fucking heart attack out there because he was... He goes,
Trying
give
so
me a
hard to
go.
follow
I go, Dad. I didn't feel like I needed to say this, but like something overwhelmed me and just, I felt compelled to say something to him. I'm like, breathe in through your nose and then breathe out through your mouth. 2 seconds later, I just hear this like sucking noise, and he's obviously sucking the air back out of it, and he starts coughing and shit. I'm like, mate, get it together.
Yeah, get off this thing, dude.
Get off this thing, mate.
Get off. Look, time's passed you by. Let the young bucks come in here and try and blow this fucker up.
Listen, also, was I undefeated as well on the slide? Sure. But it's not about W.
Undefeated?
Well, listen, there's 3 lanes, mate, and there might have been some racing going on, and maybe, maybe I was undefeated.
Yeah.
Kid will take a W.
Well,
take a W wherever they will find them, Tom.
A Christmas W, mate. I'm with you. I respect the shit out of that. That's what you got to do, especially, when they're on offer at Christmas time, and it seems like the slip and slide maybe made way for backyard cricket. You go, well, okay, I'm obviously going to have to scratch competitive itch somehow, and if that means pounding my wife and my little sister into the earth's core in slip and slide races, then that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's exactly right. That's exactly what I'll do.
Bloody oath.
Anyway.
Well, that sounds like quite the Christmas, mate. Shout out to everyone. Thanks for listening. Merry Christmas. I think.
Merry Christmas to all of you.
Should we try and get around to an actual yarn on Thursday? Like, we'll do a best of today. Thursday, we'll see if we can punch out a yarn and then do another best of, like alternate.
Yeah, I think we go vibe, bro. You and me. I think there's probably room for a yarn on Thursday for sure.
I think so. We'll see. We'll play it by ear, but punters and dribblers, enjoy the best of. Tobler is on this call, on this thing. How long is the best of?
So this current one's from the best from Jan till March, and it's about an hour and 50 minutes of quality yarn.
There you go.
Oh, that's good. Isn't he good
welcome.
to you? Isn't he good to you? Aren't we good to you? Fuck,
we're good to you. We're good to you. Also, just quickly, public apology from you, Tobler, for forgetting to invite Ned Brockman to the Baggy Green Long Lunch.
Yeah, so I'm just preparing for the execution later this afternoon. Saying my last goodbyes to my family, my friends, having a nice last meal, a big day rosé, and maybe a sausage sandwich, and then I'll let the executioners decide my fate.
Well, hung, drawn, and quartered.
Well, your fate's been sealed, Tom. So it's been nice knowing you, buddy. And all the best in the afterlife. Yep.
Yeah, cheers.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, Ned's a national icon. You fucking disrespect him on the most holy of days. I also want to do a quick shout out before I say goodbye and enjoy the best of to Emily in Paris season 3, where inside 2 days of it being up on the internet, I'm probably like a couple episodes away from finishing season 3. So
I've heard it's pretty good.
Really good stuff. Really good stuff. The French celebrate the summer solstice as well, the biggest day, whatever their equivalent is. I found that out, and that was a nice little tidbit. So, whatever, Emily in Paris.
Well, listen, it's relevant. It's cute.
Yep.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you.
See you guys. Love you.
I remember my old man had a gym that was sat out the back of the house and collected dust.
One of those ones where you
Total gyms where you've got the arm things and all that shit.
No one uses them. We used to have one that sat in the office unused for what seemed like millennia.
Yes. And they just collect dust and spider webs and shit, and it's a dusty reminder of your own failure. Or, that might be too extreme, but
My mum bought one of those
ab swings?
Ab swing pros.
I would see those and be like,
I'm
dude.
like, you're not going to use that, Ma.
But they sell them so well, dude.
Oh, they sell them. God, they sell them.
They sell the shit out of them. I remember seeing them when I was getting going dude, who wouldn't buy an ab swing pro? I'm only 12, so I can't afford one myself.
Dude, me and Ella got home from this wedding maybe it was after the tennis. Long day, after the tennis, which I'll talk about later. We went out for dinner. Shout out to Benny. Happy birthday. Then went home. It was late. We're tired. Flicking through the channels, fuck all on. Come across TVS or something, like one of those sales shows. There was a straight guy on there selling women's shoes live, and it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, there's models out here and he's like explaining them and stuff, and he's like, that olive green's going quickly, isn't it? We're running out.
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen,
really?
if you want to get in this olive green is to die for. One of the most beautiful shoes I've ever seen.
Whoa, God.
And like, you just see all these shoes going, like, selling at 12:30 at night on this random fucking.
Are they actually selling?
I don't know, but there's a number on the screen and the sizes are disappearing. People will buy anything.
I get being hoodwinked by the infomercial, or like my mum got a, what was the one that Chuck Norris used to do? Total Gym? Where you're like, it's like a Pilates bed almost on like and you've got like the bands where your arms can move and it's like you're laying on a board. They seem pretty legit. Like, we used to use it sometimes.
But they always have the most cut motherfuckers doing it.
Well, that's the problem,
That's
right?
the wool pull.
Yeah, you've got a glistening six-pack on a fucking guy or a girl, and you're like, well, yeah, I mean, I'd love to look like that. I don't know if that's like, am I getting that all from this, or do I also need
Well, that's the thing. You're not going to get rock hard, shiny abs just sitting on the Ab Swing Pro.
No, you need to also be on one of the most stringent diets known to man.
You also probably need to go to the gym and go for a run and, like, you know,
do
get on
many
the
other
assault
things.
bike and
Yes,
shit.
yes.
The Ab Swing Pro probably a small part of that. But they hoodwink people left, right, and center because they trade off something very simple, Tom, which is,
There is Total Gym, Chuck Norris.
you're a bit lazy, or like everyone, sometimes you can't be fucked.
You want a quick fix.
You want a quick fix. You want a shortcut. Like that one where you stand on the vibrating board and it says you lose weight. I'm like,
Dude, there was one that used to, I can't remember.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, dude, there was one that was even worse. It was called like and just try to find it, Dave. It was like a ab shock or something like belt.
oh, when you...
And it was like you put it around, and if you let your gut out, it'd give you a little vibration. So you'd like suck your tummy in again. And all it was just a reminder to hold your gut in and have your abs flexed. And it was like, and the fat just melts away. And you're like, well, yeah, but even worse, they were smaller than that. That looks like someone's administering insulin. That thing's huge.
How do these things get like green lit? Supposedly, I heard this somewhere, so this could be complete and utter bullshit. But knowing what we know about how seemingly attractive some of the sell is, supposedly if you get a product that makes its way onto the infomercial circuit, you know, like breakfast television. I don't know if they still do that on the breakfast show.
They do. It's fucking atrocious.
Like
television.
mid-morning television.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure even like your Carl Stefanovic shows.
No, after that one.
Well, certainly after they do. I
don't think they run the infomercials in prime time.
I hope they don't, because that's like just taking the piss out of the consumer.
That's
anyway.
right. But supposedly, if you get a product that makes it onto the highly lucrative infomercial circuit, Tom, you're home and hosed.
Do you remember that movie Joy with fucking Jennifer Lawrence? And Bradley Cooper, I think. Yeah, and it's a true story about a female US like chick inventor, I believe. True story. And she invented she invented like a different type of mop head. So she was very like the poor mum. I think she had like fucking, like a weird family dynamic, and she was a young mother, I believe. And she came up with this one, like a mop head, I think, where you could maybe take it off and wash it. I think that might have been.
So it says it was an innovative self-wringing type of mop.
So it might have been one where you can squeeze it out and then you can take it off and you can wash it.
Well, self-wringing implies that it didn't need to be wrung.
Well, I think self-wringing is in, so you know how the old mop buckets, you'd have to step on the thing and you drag the mop through it? This, I think, was the one where you can like slide down a cuff and it sort of squeezes it out into the bucket.
Yes, I'm with you.
Something like that. Anyway, mop chat. And then the whole movie's about her trying to get it like onto the infomercial thing, and then once she actually does, and it goes fucking psycho. So that stands to.
Well, if it was in a movie, it must be true.
Well, it was based on a true story.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. So it is true.
That's why
I was right.
You were right.
And you were right too. And we're all
But I wonder though, like in today's day and age, because that was set back in the day when I feel like infomercials were maybe more of a thing. Like I know they still are a thing, but how many? Can you try to find some numbers, Dave? I don't know what the fuck they'd be, but
get
like,
the state of the infomercial
industry, where it's at, where's it placed, how's it doing,
Because how much is it selling?
what's the future look like? Do you remember the ShamWow?
Yes.
Or
that guy came
ladder,
into.
which was like fucking 30 ladders in one.
Did you see the video though of that guy
dude.
showing the ladder and it collapsed under him?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
The one where it can become like it can go like this and then it can go all the way across.
Yeah.
Can you get the video up, Dave? And
Oh yeah, and it can become scaffolding.
Yeah.
and shit.
Get the video up of the
it broke.
ladder infomercial going wrong. It's fucking good.
I don't think you ever want to buy a cheap ladder.
Bro,
If you're going to
Get a
skimp on
ladder.
anything, don't skimp
don't skimp on a ladder.
on a ladder.
Nah. Absolutely.
Because your
not.
life is in its hands.
Yes.
And you need it to be strong, true, sturdy,
top.
dependable.
I mean, yeah, like I don't think I ever really want to go infomercial with my ladders where it's like, oh, this does a crazy new thing. Where, yeah, here we go.
Oh, this is old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, well,
Do you want
just,
sound or not?
I mean, how easy is it to get through headphones? Just play it. Just play
Just
it.
play it, fuck it.
Push the buttons in right here on the two sides. There are two little buttons. And all you do is push them in and that will release it. And right here, push the button in, that releases it. And then after you let go, it locks. Firmly in place, so really, you're all set. And this is tough.
It is?
Listen, give you an example. Say you have you have to get up on the wall, high ceiling, vault
Right.
ceiling. Hey, listen, just walk right up. And I tell you, it's very safe, it's durable, and
Oh,
it's
you're
lightweight.
scaring me.
So really,
Wow.
now it's locked in place, okay?
Now
So
it's
really,
locked.
You say, actually, I didn't have it locked. You have to lock it. Once you lock it, you're okay.
The Flexo ladder.
It is very safe to operate.
Oh, it's very safe. Okay, pull the ad.
Call for it.
All righty. Well, Harold, I hope you're okay.
The perils of live TV.
I know, but it's also like, if he is Flexo Ladder, that guy, he's just completely fucked his whole company in one go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
if he's Flexo ladder, yes.
if he's Flexo Ladder and this is his big break on the infomercial circuit and he's trying to break through and it's like that, he does that.
Often
you go,
it's not though. You're like the
So that was the thing in this movie with Jennifer Lawrence is she had someone else who didn't know, who was just like one of the TV salespeople trying to sell her mop, and she was on the sidelines going, "You are not selling this fucking thing well enough. Let me sell it. Let me sell it." And eventually, when she's allowed on there,
it pumps.
that's when it starts to pump because
Okay.
she knows exactly how to work.
But she knows the product.
But she's a mother from home who, like, you know,
like. Does Flexo ladder, if assuming that isn't him and assuming that guy has set it up wrong, have they got room to sue?
probably not. But it would be.
Or do you sign your life away when you go on the infomercial
Yeah,
circuit?
you go, fuck it. It either works or it doesn't. But
Yeah.
that guy, you'd hope they get another crack at it with a different salesman on the infomercial circuit.
Well, they've walked their Flexo ladder out. It's now got new iterations. It's still with us.
yes.
In a certain
Is it still
capacity.
the Flexo ladder, though?
No, it's not.
Yeah, they might have changed the name.
I think they needed
After
to.
this fucking
I think they needed
infomercial.
to. Who was the father of the infomercial? There must be someone who goes, you know what, we're going to do it this way.
Do you not find, and this is, you know, like daytime television, of which I'm not a consumer, but I have been a uni student before and I've sat through many an Ellen show. And
You've
fucking-
also had days off school.
I've
back
had
in the
days off school
day.
back in the day. They just, I know it's not prime time, but there is like so little consideration of people that are watching TV at home. Like it is some of the most obscure daytime movies from like 400 years ago. And then when you've got shows like your morning shows and whatever, to just in the middle of programming drop out for 5, like you already go to ads for 4 minutes, every 4.5 minutes, every fucking 10 minutes. And then you come back from an ad and you drop into a fucking salad chopper ad.
People love it.
I don't reckon they do though.
Well, I think they do. That's why they play it.
I think they play it because they need money. And so they go, fuck it. It's a fuck it play where they just go, oh, we'll just chuck in another ad here.
Yeah, but if you watch that sort of television, like, I know what you're saying. It's sort of part and parcel. Like, if you're gonna watch this mindless mid-morning television, then this is a part of the setup.
You know
And
what
we're
you're
gonna-
getting into.
and you know what you're getting into. I think in the fullness of time it'll die because people will stop watching television.
Yeah.
And no one in their right mind is going to Netflix and going to, I want to watch
like some latest infomercial fucking special.
No,
Do you know
I
what
think
mean?
it's almost like the people who watch the mid-morning shows,
It'll die with the boomer.
they will die out as so will the concept.
It'll die with the boomer.
Yeah.
You would think.
You would think.
But we may well be wrong. Infomercial was fucking fascinating. What was the other ones they had? Like the karate chopper or
Slap chop.
slap chop, where you slap it in it.
Yeah. We got one that's I think called is it a sumo slicer?
Sumo slice.
Yeah.
Sumo something.
There was a slap chop sumo slicer. I think we've got like a grater, which actually is pretty fucking good. That my old man bought us off Infomercial, and we already had one.
Is he a
funnily
bit
enough.
of a connoisseur of the infomercial?
No, not at all. But he also doesn't, he also stays up late and watches fucking weird TV. So I'm sure he can like happen across an infomercial or two. But it's by no means, he's never bought us something off an infomercial before, let me tell you. But for whatever reason, he rocked up with maybe it was the sumo slicer. But you basically, it's like it's a great like grater. So instead of grating on those fucking things,
Greats for you.
you basically have much like a juicer where you put like a carrot into a juicer. You have that, you push down your vegetable, and then you crank a handle, and it
grates.
just to the point where like if you're making a spag bowl, which is one of my specialties, you could almost slice this shit so thin that like it absorbs into the mince more than it like you do that to say
Onion, garlic.
whatever. By the time the heat has got to it, it's just melted away,
Melts in.
becomes part of it. Which, if you want my opinion, no, you didn't ask for, I prefer to actually manually chop my shit because I like to have a bit more in it. Bit more
Substance.
a bit more nuts to it.
Yeah, I understand that.
Anyway,
I
that's a
respect
side
that.
point. But shout out to the sumo slicer, shout out to Infomercials.
Do you want to know a bit about the history?
Just give us a quick one.
Quick rundown, not too long.
So the first kind of infomercials were essentially soap operas. So like companies used to be able to sponsor entire TV shows and produce them. That's how soap operas got their name, because they were sponsored by soap companies. At the beginning, the first actual infomercial was a Vitamix blender. But basically what it says here, in like the 50s to the 80s, there was no limit on how many ads... 50s to 60s, there was no limit on how many ads you could have on TV in the space of an hour. So they were just putting on like full shows, which were ads. Then they changed the laws, and that's kind of when infomercials came in, where you had to have shorter periods. And so the Vitamix blender was the first one. There was a dude called Ron Popel who basically made them famous and started making them, because he was actually a real good salesman. I think the ones before then were just people kind of explaining shit.
And where are we at? Where the infomercial at?
Right now,
Yeah.
it's hard to tell, but it's from what it says here, they're mostly confined to breakfast TV slots, early morning slots, or having their own channel on like free to air and in America on cable.
Which they do.
Which they definitely they've still got them here. If you just flick around on channels long enough on free to air, you find one or two fucking...
They're not used in prime time anymore and stuff.
No, thank God. Is there any more of like a circle jerk echo chamber than LinkedIn? Oh my God, how bad is it? Like it's a fucking...
I spend no time.
No time. I made one when I was gainfully unemployed, which was a stress because I was like, I've got nothing to put in here.
What have you got on there now?
I tried to delete everything off there. I couldn't. I tried to delete my LinkedIn. I didn't know how. So I might have it might be the weirdest LinkedIn in the world. I think I've got my title as head honcho at Hello Sport.
Like we always told you.
Yeah, like I said, like if we were to actually get titles, I call it as head honcho. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I don't know.
Did you ever put that in your email signature?
No, I don't know how to fucking... Like, I'm sure if I sat there and fart around, I can change my email signature, but it was just like...
Like the shameless cringe self-promotion.
I don't understand what it's used for.
That's the thing, though, because
It's like Instagram for corporate people.
Because you don't
what do you
really
do
get...
on
Are we
there?
recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we don't really get... You don't get... I'm sure you get jobs off it. I don't know, but like... Most of it isn't getting jobs. It's telling people what you've done at work. Don't you reckon?
Yeah. Or like, congratulate this dude on his new position here.
On my new role as fucking, this thing and fucking, or 6 years at this, or like.
Or someone will post like a really heartfelt long thing about how much a company means to them
Dude,
after they're leaving.
yeah, no, but or like some op-ed that they've written themselves about the state of the fucking financial industry, or like some really earnest and sincere thing about like, hair care products, and you're like, what? Like, sure, but who's this for?
That's what I don't fully understand. Like, okay, you can write a piece on interest rates and why they've gone up or gone down or stayed the same, whatever. I get that.
And how your company is best placed to capitalize on.
But who's reading that going, yes, he's our man?
3 likes. Whoa, yeah, great. All from the same business. Like, all just people fucking, what I mean?
So like, surely that I find that so transparent. I'm like, you're just trying to pump up
yourself, your business.
Which is fine, but like that isn't selling me.
No, but
it's so transparent.
Also, all the connections shit. Like this
guy can use Microsoft Word. Like I'm gonna fucking.
I'm gonna hire him.
Well, I'm gonna go endorse him. Is that what you do?
Oh yeah, right. So, but I thought you could endorse people. It was more like, oh, I've worked with Eddie before. He's a good worker.
I think there's like skills and stuff that you can.
That was also the thing for me, where like you're putting your skills in there. It's like, I don't have any skills really. Like I can sort of edit some, but like I'm not skilled. When I was doing my thing,
what would yours have been?
It was for like I was trying
PowerPoint.
to get, I was trying to get jobs for
Word.
like podcasting, radio, fucking. But then it's like, what else? And then you just see these generic names of jobs where it's like digital marketing manager or like fucking social, and you're like, what the fuck what does that mean? Like, what am I just like running the Instagram accounts for these fucking? Anyway, I never got offered a job anyway, but I was just, sometimes I get these notifications and I'm like in my email, someone's tried to make a connection, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like some random person. But then like you get one, I got one the other week that was like from a dude I went to primary school with. Like, what the fuck are you adding me on LinkedIn for?
Because he wants to connect professionally.
I know, it's just a bizarre one because I mean, I guess like, Facebook and Instagram, like maybe you can't find me. Facebook you'd be able to. But like, yeah. I don't know, I'm just like LinkedIn. Well, either way, I accidentally said accept.
I don't know if he's actively looked for you. Maybe it came up in like recommended connections or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
But it would be funny to try and find the wankiest title on LinkedIn.
Can you start sending us in the wankiest titles you've seen on LinkedIn, please? Mine is, and Eddie, yours will be changing to as soon as you leave here, head honcho.
At Hello Sport.
At Hello Sport.
But like deputy vice president of fucking international communications or some shit.
That's also, the six-pronged title, which has like all these caveats in it. It's like,
what's a deputy vice president? What does that even mean?
Deputy Vice President of East Asian something.
Of APAC.
Yeah.
And subsidiaries.
And they all sound really impressive, but like...
Of course they do. That's the
vice
point.
president is actually a shit kicker at like a big company.
Imagine what a deputy vice president is then. If you think vice president's shit, you're a deputy vice president. Like, how can you have a deputy vice?
Why not?
Basically, what that's saying is you haven't made the starting side and you aren't on the bench. If you're the deputy vice, like...
Well, you're the deputy to the vice.
Yeah, so you're probably not even fucking playing.
You're third string.
Fourth. Because I imagine...
There's a deputy president has his own deputy?
Yeah, exactly.
Deputy president, then vice president.
Can you be the deputy
vice.
to a deputy?
A double deputy.
A double deputy.
I mean, I think you can because... They make up shit in the corporate world. Like,
that's
they make up roles.
That's
it's just
what I'm
like
saying.
That's what's so funny to see as well.
Well, they do it in that movie with Leo, The Wolf of Wall Street, when they just come up with these like, I'm vice president and shit, because it sounds impressive.
Exactly. Yeah, you just say it. But like, I would see it all the time in my former industry where there was like, one content manager for this region, then one for this region, and then it was like, then we have the head content manager for all the regions. And it was like, oh, no, now we're fucking scrapping all of them, and now we've got one digital, local, global fucking content. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Just like this, it just doesn't make any sense sometimes.
The local rep looking after global interests.
It's yeah.
Love that.
But no, now he's just solely digital, social, local, global content. Yeah, okay. Of sales, right. Anyway, shout out to LinkedIn and shout out to, I won't say his name, but the guy from primary school who started following me, I didn't see that one coming. Let me say that.
Didn't see it coming.
No.
How long do you think you'd been planning that? Or do you think it was a spur of the moment
Well,
thing?
since you pointed out or reminded me that you can just sort of flop up in people's LinkedIn feeds.
Did he seem like a real LinkedIn operator? Like, did he have the full kind of?
To be honest, dude, not really. He was a bit of a bully at school, like where he was the sort of kid who hit puberty like first.
Yeah.
So he was fucking humongous and used to throw his weight around. But he was also, and this is going to sound a little bit gross, if you got kids in the car, turn it off now. Just giving him a second for the kids to get out of the room. He used to jack off in public all the time.
Oh my goodness. I did not expect that.
You know how you know what made me think of it when I went, yeah, I didn't see, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't see him follow, like.
He was a public masturbator.
It was like following LinkedIn. I was like, I didn't see that coming. And then I was like, oh, actually, I saw him coming heaps, unfortunately, because he used to do it all the time. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. We were like 12.
Are you serious?
Yeah. This is so fucking gross.
This is very crass, Tom.
We were on a school bus on our way to a sports trip once, and he was fucking pounding away on himself while I'm across the aisle. Again, I hope the kids aren't around for this. I'm across the aisle from him, and I'm like, can see it out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, this is so fucking inappropriate. Like, I don't need to do this. I've got a job to. I got to go play cricket today. The under 12s.
You got a job to do.
I got a job to do. I got to get my mind on the game, and I can't because name redacted is fucking pulling himself to death on the seat next to me. And then when he was
and it was at this point in your life, his life, was he still the big bad bully? Like,
Yes.
Can anyone feasibly go, I think it's time to put that thing away?
No, especially not while he's in the fucking like.
What year are you in? Year 5?
Year 6, I think. Year 5 or 6. I think it was year 6. And he was on full autopilot, just fucking, you couldn't talk to him, you couldn't reason with him, nor would you want to when he's in that state because you got to eyeball this shaft. Anyway, as he reaches fucking completion.
Oh my God. This
isn't where we thought we were going on a Monday, and I apologise. I apologise.
Wild stuff.
He whips down the blazer of the kid on the seat.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
100% serious. I'm not lying. This is 100% a fact.
This happened.
This happened. And the guy in front was fucking ropeable. But again, bully, what can you do? Most of us weren't at that stage of maturity.
No, I can imagine.
Generally, right?
Yeah.
We weren't able to
be popping off.
We weren't able to do the things that he was doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think the story goes much further than that, but that was probably the most famous public. But that's what's crazy to me, right? Like, if you're doing shit like that in primary school and you start adding people on LinkedIn, like, I mean, time heals all wounds, sure. But, like, I wouldn't want to talk to the people I was doing that in front of ever again.
Well, it doesn't heal all wounds.
Certainly, I wouldn't be touching that blazer.
I wouldn't be touching that blazer. That blazer needed to be thrown out.
Yeah.
Time's not healing the blazer. And it's not healing that memory either.
No. That thing's been seared into my brain, unfortunately. I've forgotten many things
that is
in my
truly
life.
shocking. I wonder how often he thinks about that, or if he does think about that. You know what I mean?
Yep, I do know what you mean.
He clearly doesn't if he's prepared to add you.
Well, that was my thought. That was my thought.
I need to be as far away from
these people as possible.
Yes. I need to rebrand myself. I maybe need to go down to Depot, which I know is not what is. I don't think that's an Australian thing.
No,
and
it's
change
not.
my name.
But yeah, basically, I just need to skip town. Maybe go to like a town. What's it like? Cuba Pedy, where they basically just live underground and mine opals and shit.
Yeah, Cuba Pedy. Yeah.
I think maybe that's where you best spend
South
your time.
Australia, I believe.
I believe you might be right. But that's just something to think about. That's LinkedIn though.
Yeah, that's LinkedIn. That is LinkedIn. Did you get a job off LinkedIn? When you were doing
No,
it,
dude,
when you were in
no.
between jobs and you were doing it up,
No, I didn't get anything.
Were
I didn't,
you
I
like-
didn't even get a fucking inquiry.
but were you thinking to yourself, this
No, this is my
this
ticket.
could be my ticket?
No, I was very much uninspired by it, but I was like, it seems like this is a necessary thing to have, where it's like they can come and look at my
What
fucking...
photo did you use?
Mate, I cropped a photo from like, I don't know, just a photo. I didn't have any like, I didn't get like a fucking professional photo. I just went to my Facebook ones and went, okay, this one is the least bad. I'm not a big photo guy in general. As you know, when you try and Photoshop shit for our fucking, episode tiles. But so I just found one from like, it's honestly from like a night out where I just happened to look all right. And I'm like, oh, I'll just use
Have you got
that
sunnies on?
one. No, I don't have sunnies on. But I didn't get any job. I ended up just getting a job through a mate, which is how that's how it really happens.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how it really happens. I got fucked around by a podcast company. Not that I deserved the job, but just more like, yeah, sure, we'll talk. Yeah. And it was like, they just strung me along for ages. And I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, like digital networking, is that really networking? As opposed to like the old fashioned way of doing it, which is
meeting
going to the
them,
pub?
which I think is a far better way to like get a grasp of someone's, like whether they're a fit or not.
I've got a couple of mates that do that, and they do it the old school way. They go out and get on the piss.
So like if they're looking at hiring someone.
No, like doing business with people.
Oh,
like
yeah.
yeah. Like use like their clients and stuff.
I feel like
They'll
that's how
take them out for lunches, dinners.
I feel like
whatever.
that's how it's done at the higher end.
But that's my point,
Yeah.
right? They're not going, g'day, we're friends on LinkedIn, and I'm going to endorse you, and now you're going to give me business. Like,
You're a third degree connection.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, shout out to LinkedIn. If you're a LinkedIn guy and you're, oh my God, that backscrub ad was a lot.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, if you're a LinkedIn guy or girl, there's nothing wrong with that, but it is...
Tom and I just failing to see the benefits, the real tangible
And
benefits.
when I was doing the sanitizer game, of which you all know, and if you don't know, well, now you do, I was heavy in the sanitizer and mask business during COVID 2020. I was on LinkedIn all the time, but...
Heavy not because of his success, because of his involvement.
You know what? You could argue it was successful because it kept me afloat for an entire year, and a few other people who you've heard us mention on this podcast, Jarch, kept us alive and kicking. And, did we get a lot of valuable skills out of it, make some good friends? Yes, we did. Did we sell much personally? Me? Very little. Some other people, though, sold a lot, which was why I was able to be employed for so long. I used to use LinkedIn then because you were trying to basically pound fucking businesses into the earth with like, hey, do you need masks? Hey, do you need sani? So you just like, whatever the business was, it was like, the food distribution businesses and supply chain businesses and shit like that. And there was some other tool that you could use where it would basically give you the email of everyone it would give people people's...
Like strip the emails. Do you mean?
Yeah. So you get their personal work email, mobile number, anything that was like behind the wall, the LinkedIn wall, you just bang, get it. So I hit up the CEO of a fucking Fortune 500 company in the emails. What was the company called? Henry Schein Dentistry or some shit. They're like a $6 billion a year company or something. I just went, fuck it. We were trying to hit US companies, like one of our sort of, new directions was trying to hit US companies. So I was like, fuck it. So I just went to the Fortune 500 and just put it got all the emails and numbers of all like the big dicks in the world. And not really expecting much, but like you'd get the big dicks and you'd get everyone below them, all the pubes and balls that sit below the big dicks, and you'd just pound them all with the same email. But then the CEO of Henry Schein got back to me and was like, hey, mate, great. Really appreciate you reaching out. Like, let's set up a meeting with you and our head fucking global purchaser, whatever the hell. And I was like, okay, right. And then like super pumped, fucking, holy shit, we got a meeting with these guys. Had to get up real early to like have a 6 a.m. meeting with these dudes in New York. And I'm like fucking shitting myself. But also I've got the other guys on the call because I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know. Like I've never really sold much. I couldn't sell to a fucking high school where this guy was like trying to nickel and dime me and I fucked the deal. It was for like 10 grand. This is for like $1 billion company. We get through the whole thing, have a really great meeting with them. The guys were really nice, had a laugh. They're like, oh, we love what you're doing. Like, you know, the initiative, you're a small business trying to do this. We were like, holy shit. And then we're like, they're like, we need X amount of masks. And we're like, yeah, we can do that. What were they? KN95s? Like, yeah, we can do that. And they're like, great, perfect. Well, we'll finish this up here. We'll get you in touch with the next guy down the line and we'll sort it out and we'll get it going. And like, we get off that call and the numbers they were talking about was like ridiculous. And I'm like, oh my God, I am the greatest fucking salesman of all time. We just got like a bajillion masks. Then we're like pumped. You know, I'm walking to the office swinging my dick after that morning meeting.
You're high on life.
High on life.
Thinking about the numbers.
Wearing a
about
jacket. You know what I mean? I'm like, I've rolled in like I'm fucking.
You put your leather one on.
I'll put my leather jacket on, roll into the office. Anyway, then the next day they get another email back from their like next purchasing guy and it's like, so there's N95s, KN95s. Yep, so we're just looking at X amount. I can't remember. It was in the shitloads though. Just a shitload of N95 masks, please. And we're like, no, we were talking KN95s with your man before, and he's like, well, no, we don't take KN95s here in the US. And I'm like, well, he said you did. he fucking said you did. No, he's got it wrong. He's got it wrong. It's the N95s. They're the only ones that are allowed in America. So this deal's over. And I'm like,
well, you couldn't get the 95s?
No, dude, they were rare as hen's teeth. But also in Australia, KN95s are the thing, so we could get fuckloads of those. It was such a minute detail as well, to the point now where like I don't think it matters in any country. I think it's just everything goes. But at that time, it was just dumb. Like the N95s were FDA certified, KN95s were TGA certified. It was just like, but they're essentially the exact same thing. And anyway, it robbed me of many, many, many dollars. And that broke me. That broke me as a salesman.
Did you take the leather jacket off?
It wasn't a leather jacket for him, but it was like it was a trench coat, which I really only pull out for winter. But you know, the sale came in. I took the jacket off and just sort of walked out. Yeah, well, you had to take the jacket off at that point. You're not a salesman.
No,
I was a salesman.
No, you're not.
I was a salesman for like 24 hours.
Well, I mean, the sort of numbers that you're hinting at, that's trench coat territory.
That's trench coat numbers.
Yeah, you can put your trench coat on and let the people know, hey,
big day on the sales.
You might have a deputy vice president on your hands of sales, okay? So, fucking
for the Oceania,
APAC region, and I do dabble in North America, obviously.
Yeah.
Look at these buttons, but I'm going to take it off now, and I'm going to walk home.
No, I'm going to take it off.
I'm going to tell the wife what's happened.
Yeah, I'm going to
because best believe last night. We were already spending that money.
We were spending that money. No, I put the trench into just a plastic Aldi bag that I have under the desk, and I'm walking home with it. I caught an Uber in. I'm walking home.
In fact, I might even complain about the Uber, try to get some money back.
Yeah. No, I will actually. Yeah. I cancelled it
Wrong
mid-trip.
route.
Yeah. Late to show up, late to get there.
We're gonna need that $15 back.
Yeah, or at least whatever the booking fee is. Yeah, so fuck LinkedIn basically.
Yeah.
But you know, shout out to Henry Schein and the CEO.
Was his name Henry Schein?
No, I don't think so, because I think Henry Schein is like old. Bro, I did like research on Henry Schein so I could like have some company knowledge before the meeting. Like he was going to test me on the fucking, when did business start? Oh, 1942, out of necessity. Henry Schein, a young Jewish man in America, fucking Brooklyn. I just fucking...
It was 1932, actually.
There you go.
Look, if you don't know the origin story, then...
If you don't know when Henry Schein started, then get off the call.
Did you make notes on that? Did you have notes?
Not about
points?
I was making notes while we were on the call, and like a couple of the other guys who are like higher up in the business were like doing most of the talking. And all I remember looking at my notes afterwards, they were talking about their market cap was $6 billion, and all I'd written was a huge 6 billion. And that was all I had. This fucking huge writing. So like just underline like, holy fuck. 6 billion. And then then everything else happened and the trench coat has not been worn since.
Yeah, nice. So, obviously, you know, we all kind of grew up together.
Yeah.
At university, right?
Correct.
That's nice.
That
and I
is
mean,
really-
growing up's a loose term.
we did
but
grow up
we
there.
did grow up there. We all lived together.
We grew older there.
We grew older there.
We did.
Is it now? Did you hate me or Eddie or both of us when you first met us?
Eddie.
Hey.
And it hurts. I know that hurts.
Of course it does.
But
Yeah.
just know.
I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't hurt.
No, well, you can't. I
You
mean,
didn't like me. That hurt
didn't.
to on a certain level.
you're gonna.
Knowing one of my best mates fucking hated me.
Strong
Hate's a
words.
strong word. He thought I was a loser.
No, I just thought he was
Strong
arrogant.
dislike.
Well,
Well, he's arrogant.
Well, no, he was quiet. He was socially.
Oh, so you thought his quietness made him arrogant? I
Dude,
think it's his
because
loudness.
well, no, but he was. Well, that certainly comes into play these days.
yeah.
No, bro.
Yeah. Bro, you're fucking wrong.
Exactly. Nah. So he came to uni with a mate of ours called Rob Dowling, and he was staying.
Shout
in
out to
Towers
Robbie
and
D.
whatnot. Shout out to Robbie, and bloody and I sort of met him. I'm like, "G'day, mate, Jack. How you going?" And he was like, "You going, mate?" And I was like, "I don't." Okay. And then I was like, "You know, where you from?" He's like, "Oh, Dubbo." And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then I think we went out for the night. Blah blah blah.
I remember that night.
Yeah, and we all got pissed and what have you. And
I don't remember
Eddie
you,
just
though.
didn't have much to say. I remember you. You didn't have much to say, and I was just like, I just was like, I think that bloke's a bit arrogant. Wasn't that I hated you? I was just like,
No, you
don't
did.
think it's
You
my cup of
fucking-
tea.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
And then
You were wrong, weren't you, bruh?
so wrong.
But I didn't like. I've kind of forgotten any world where he's quiet.
Well, it's yeah.
You know
I
what I
can
mean?
be.
No, I know, but like but I'm even like that as well, right? Like when you first meet people, I'm kind of like, it's not like you don't like them. You're just more like, I'm not gonna be best mates off the jump. You kind of got to get to know someone. But Eddie
Absolutely.
Quiet doesn't even compute to me now.
Yeah, no, I think he was just socially a bit. It was like it's coming into like a fucking like a pen of animals, and that was like Towers was literally designed by.
Yeah,
like,
it was
designed
fucking.
jails.
It was a madhouse.
So
Well,
everyone's
and it
pissed.
won. I believe it
won.
won some sort of space saving
Efficiency
award, a
awards.
space efficiency award for the Southern Hemisphere, if my memory serves me.
Far
It's
out.
also sinking. So
What is
and
it?
I believe it's like sinking. They're
Towers
gonna
is
knock it
sinking?
down. I think they're knocking it down.
What? Towers is sinking.
I believe so.
That's
This-
for those who don't know. That's the fucking place we stayed at university.
It was one of the colleges.
Yeah.
College is such a
It
Loose
doesn't
term.
it
It
doesn't
doesn't-
deserve the term college.
no. I mean, when you hear college, you might be like, fucking St Andrews or some shit.
Sandstone building.
Yeah, this thing wasn't sandstone.
No, this was
No.
pure.
This
pure,
was brown brick.
This was
And
Long
cement.
Bay.
Yeah.
This is
Just
Long
so-
Bay University.
Long Bay Uni.
This place was fucked up.
It was.
You could touch
It looked.
either wall. Like the
in your-
places were
in
so
your dorm.
small.
Yeah, and the corridors. It was a fucking prison.
Yeah. It was also a warren. I would get lost in that joint
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, it was also awesome.
No, it was great.
I wouldn't-
Absolutely loved it.
It was great.
But so when did you then realize that you didn't hate him? Do you remember that?
Because I think you came before you started uni, didn't you?
I came like 6 months before.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you hated him
before
then?
I started.
Before he even started?
Correct.
Oh.
Hated maybe the year before.
Oh,
And I didn't know
shit.
that. And had I known it,
You may
would
not
I
have rocked
come?
up.
Probably not. I would have been like, they all hate me up there. I'm not going. Fuck that.
Go back to Dulles South Primary.
Yeah. Where that,
Well,
that
I could have
uniform
gone
back
and
all
done.
day.
I could have gone and done teaching at Charles State University, Dubbo.
Correct. I'm so glad you came to Bathurst. But then we all became friends. I think we were before we all moved in together, we were sort of fringe friends. Like I was friends with Streety, you all were friends with Streety, really good friends. We were friendly, but we weren't really great mates. I
We
think.
weren't like this. I think Eddie
We
and
weren't
I,
like this.
Eddie and I considered you a friend, but I think that you had a few birds chirping in your ear, being like, "Oh, don't hang out with those guys. They're fucking this. Or don't hang out with those fucking guys."
The
And it was
footy
like,
boys trying to retain me.
it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, but I liked you boys, so I was like,
Well, how could you not?
it's hard. Exactly. So then we moved
Good
in together.
point.
That was, God, those were good bloody years.
They were good days.
They were good years, good days, good
days,
times.
good
We
years.
had a spa, punters and dribblers. We had air conditioning / heating.
We have a
throughout.
spa?
Spa bath, we did.
We had a spa bath, bro.
I never
Upstairs.
used that
Of course
thing
you
ever.
didn't.
Well, it was a bath with jets in it. Let's not fucking spin a yarn.
That's a
It is,
spa
yeah, no,
bath.
it is a spa bath.
I didn't say spa, did I? I said a spa bath.
But wouldn't you call it? Isn't a spa bath? Like if you have those like
No, a
square
spa's a
ones.
spa.
But wouldn't you call it a spa bath?
A spa bath is like a bath with
Dave,
jets.
can you get the specifics on spa baths for us, mate? We got to fucking sort this one out.
What would you have called that? A bath with jets?
No. What I'm saying is
That
the
rolls
reason
off the tongue.
No, but I'm saying like even Jay, like you didn't even remember it.
Dude, I forgot about it.
That's what I'm saying.
We had a spa bath.
Yeah, but like we had one, but it wasn't like we had a fucking jacuzzi, you know? It was a fucking bath with
Yeah,
some
we had a
jets.
spa bath. That was Eddie stated.
Yeah. Did I say we had a jacuzzi? No.
I'm not
Did I
having
say
a
we had
go at
spa?
you.
No.
Eddie. I'm not having a go at you, but I am saying that a spa. What do you got here? Spa. While three terms are often used interchangeably, they aren't the same. A hot tub is an umbrella term for
the
any
Yanks.
tub with heated water. So a bath is technically a hot tub. Spas fall into this category, but spas also another really weird water. I can't see because of the lights.
What is a spa
What is a
bath?
spa bath? People ask.
What is a
What is
spa
a spa bath?
A spa bath is a spa treatment that usually takes place in a private treatment room and will be just for you. Or
So
you
you're
and
wrong,
your
Eddie.
partner.
Nah, this is
Yeah,
Yanks.
private
This is a-
room.
Hang on,
So you and your partner.
Treatment.
These types of baths are different to a regular hot tub or whirlpool bath.
Wrong.
And some day
Eddie's
spas have indulgent freestanding baths or double.
We're not getting any answers here.
Well, no,
We're
we
no
are.
closer to the
We
truth.
are. You're wrong.
We're in Australia and that's a spa bath.
Yeah.
This is a
Or, as Burma would call
In
it,
the-
from the
in-
Highlands, a bath with jets.
Well, sorry. In light of literally the fucking definition, Eddie sits here and goes, "We're not getting any closer to an answer here." It's literally fucking written. Quick, let's look into it. Nah, we're no closer.
Yeah, .uk. Do we live there, bro?
Yeah, they got no
We're no
idea.
closer to a fucking answer. Turn it off, Dave. Turn the fucking screen off.
They got no idea.
Nowhere near an answer.
But we did have a spa bath, so it was
Yeah, we
good.
did.
It was good fun. Skating down those streets every night and bloody.
Yeah. Just
Playing chicken with
living our
trucks.
best life. I know, right?
That was fucking wild.
From the roundabout all the way down?
Yeah.
That was a smooth
run.
Smooth roads.
And you go all the way down to that car
Car
park.
park.
A little bit of had to be there for the pun.
Well,
But-
yeah,
but-
like I don't know that anyone else is going to understand this little bit of a.
But it's not about them.
No, it's not
It's about
really.
us.
It's not.
Magellan Bowling Club.
Yep.
Shout out to Magellan Bowling Club. Shout out to. Is there anything else worth shouting out? Chicky Bergs.
Kings. Chicky Bergs.
What about how Jarch would never get involved in our house shops? And it was like, initially he came to the very first one, I think, and then from there just never shot us again.
remember
What was worse was he would come shopping. He wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't try and put his own.
Like, let's get this, let's get that.
And then when we'd get home, we'd realise that he's done a separate shop.
No.
And he wouldn't eat what we're
No,
eating.
he'd sit there eating
To
zucchinis
say
and
that we
shit.
were highly offended would be the understatement of the year. Because we thought we'd shop pretty well.
Hold on. Let's be
Bread
clear.
rolls, chicky bergs, cheddar cheese,
Meat heists.
milk,
12 litres of milk a week.
that pickle sauce.
Quickie Ness. Chocky Ness.
Chocky Ness.
Nesquik.
No, you've misremembered.
No.
Now, towards the end,
so
I
our
started.
two fucking
towards the
lightning,
end,
razor sharp brains.
I got a fridge in my room, which I would put food in.
Cuz, are you trying to say that only once you got a fridge in your room was when you abandoned your fucking housemates in the shop?
No,
'Cause
no,
that's
no.
one of the great lies.
I did a fair few shops with you blokes.
You did,
because
but
we
you
did.
didn't
We
eat
did a lot of
anything.
meat heists together. If you remember,
We definitely did.
I'm not saying you weren't there.
Towards, I did progressively start to do my own thing.
Cuz after one fucking shop you disappeared.
Simply untrue.
No.
That is a lie.
No.
And you know it.
No, I don't.
Also, you probably don't remember, is that you guys were so fucking povo that sometimes I'd buy food for you and put it in the
Paws.
fridge so you could eat. Hamish was like, where'd all the ham and cheese and tomato come from? I'm like, where do you fucking think, Hamish? You haven't got any money or food, so I bought you food.
Yeah.
Well, you were the only one with a job.
You had a job.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you work?
But I worked very sporadically.
I didn't have a job. I was on the old Govey subs.
Yeah. So I apologise for not being part of the shop towards the end of our
Towards
tenure.
the end of it, Jack.
I said mid towards
Get your
the
fucking
end.
head out of your ass.
And I also apologise for feeding you when you were in need.
Oh, please. You never did. And you're
I-
trying to pretend
I
like
knew
you
it.
had all
I
the
knew
money.
he'd
It was
say
your
that.
girlfriend.
I knew he'd say I never
It was
did.
your girlfriend. She bought us the meals.
Hey, I was clearing about $800 a week working at that
Thanks
dog
to
factory.
her.
I was
Thanks to
rich.
her.
Well,
Thanks to her.
not fair.
I do remember this. While we move on, because we could get stuck here, punters and dribblers. When you and Penn would duck out for ice cream and come back with like a PS3.
Yeah.
Oh,
Judge had a sugar mama.
when I had $20 to last me a fortnight, I remember seeing that going, what the fuck is going on?
Jarch would duck out for a fucking paddle pop and come back with a PS3 and 6 games.
Yeah, that
and
happened.
we're sitting there literally
happen.
fucking rummaging through bins.
Looking for $2.50 so we can go 4 ways in a box of goon.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fruity Lexia.
That
Shout out
did
to Fruity
happen.
Lexia and
Hey,
Solo.
Dog Food Factory
One of the great
paid well.
laxatives of all time.
Well, we used to do orange juice.
Well, either way.
That was...
Fruity Lexia and juice or
I reckon
Solo
that's-
will make you poo.
I get indigestion every now and then. I think that was the original catalyst.
100%.
Fruity Lexia
It
with
used to give
orange
me
juice.
a rash. Mm-hmm. I got a rash from Goon. If I drink Goon, I get a rash.
Dude, if you came past my door or the bathroom door the day after a night on the Lex, it'd be a knock and I'd just go, no. Busy.
Yeah.
A night on the Lex was a good night, though. You pound that Lexia into the ground. You might have a bottle of rum if you were lucky.
Well, it'd be paired best with a
and
bottle
then
of
I'd
rum.
go out to the pub with a little $5 in the back pocket, and I'd get my one beer and...
Punch on? Well, not punch on. Push. It'd end up we'd all be pushing and shoving each other at the end of the night at some
Well,
point.
correct. But the beers were about $3 for a Carlton Draft.
Oh, so you could get two. You get two beers.
If you borrowed $1 from a mate.
and then maybe drink your mate's beers. And then...
Yeah. Oh, whoops! Sorry, is that your one? Thought it was mine.
But they were good times,
They
good
were
memories.
fucking good times.
When I drive home, even though driving through Mudgee's a lot quicker, sometimes I'll nip through Bathurst just
Oh,
for
mate,
nostalgic reasons
100%.
and go past the old haunts. Nipped down to Melbourne Thursday, stayed in the city, which was nice. Had a couple. Bit of a dinner, bit of a yip and a yahoo, but nothing crazy.
Just a little Melbourne night.
But a little yipping was done, a little yahoo was done.
I bet it was.
Know that.
Yeah, I know.
And we drove down to Nick and Soph's wedding. Thank you very much for having us, and congratulations once more.
Yep.
A splendid time, Tom. Down Torquay, Geelong way. I don't know where we were specifically.
You may as well have been blindfolded and fucking chucked in a van and driven somewhere.
I was driven there, but I wasn't taking much in.
No.
I had shout out to Nick Mallett, he was my maps guy.
Compass.
Yeah. And when you've got a maps guy, you don't need to rent signs.
Fuck no.
Hamilton, maybe. Hamilton's coming to the...
So you were driving.
I was driving.
He was maps guy.
He was maps guy.
That's nice to have.
Do your lefts, do your rights, do your straights.
700 metres up here.
We
take
got
a left.
40k straight here. Let's just chill.
Just chill. Maybe whack it into fucking...
That's it. We had Nova Naughties on, which is a digital radio station, just playing the best songs from like the early 2000s.
Okay, Nova Naughties. DAB, I think, digital something broad. That's an interesting place, radio stations. There's like fucking really niche.
Oh, really
stuff on
niche.
there.
Yeah, like Dio Dave stuff on that.
Yeah. He's got his own station. Anyway, so down to Torquay.
Down to Hamilton, fucking get in there, staying in the shearers' quarters. Bloody great weekend. Tell you what, every time I go to Melbourne, and I've probably been over the years, Tom, don't know, 10 times maybe, 8 times, whatever. It is fucking dry as all get out. I don't think it rains down there. It is
Really?
impossibly dry. When you fly into Tullamarine, it's looked like you're flying into fucking the desert.
Moabi.
No green anywhere. And this was no different. Bloody dry the whole way down.
It's
I don't know
only,
if that's like...
only part of Australia or the East Coast at least.
Exactly. That's my point exactly. But you came into a lush oasis, Tom. Water had been poured on the land where we stayed. Which,
Oh, okay, that's good.
Popped
Bore
it up.
water.
well, I don't know if they were using bore
Or whether it just
creek,
rained on just that
or just if
specific...
it rained on that specific area, Tom. I mean, like, you know,
Did they put some of that stuff in the clouds?
the
It's
half
cloud
acre block.
seeding.
They might have said the clouds, Tom, which can be done.
Of course it can be done.
I don't know how effective cloud seeding is, Tom.
I think China did it for the Winter Olympics.
No, they didn't. They just dammed water and flooded areas and
Eddie,
kicked apart the-
Eddie, I just say these things, right? You
Yeah,
go,
right.
you go like, you go,
I thought we'd already talked about that.
No, fucked if I know.
We might have.
We very well could
We
have.
may not have. But it was a fucking ripper weekend, Tom. It was really good stuff.
Did you have to do any like officiating of anything, or were you able to just get there and were you fucking reading any, you know, Paul's first letter to the Corinthians?
No, I didn't
were
do
you
any
bloody
Corinthian
speeches?
stuff. No, I didn't have to do any of that stuff, which was great.
That's nice.
Which was unbelievable.
Ned could let his hair down.
Had to pull some bloke out of the creek though.
Wait a minute. What,
Yeah.
like dead bloke?
Well, we were
Not far off?
we were standing around fucking having a bit of a yarn, and this bloke, it was at night, and this bloke came up. He's like, mate, someone's just fallen in the water. We're like, holy shit. We like run down there. This guy like tumbled down the hill. We would have been 60s, maybe 70s, and was like on his back in the fucking creek.
Out?
Like not out. Was like rattled.
Yeah,
as fuck. And they were to get this fucker up the hill, out of the mud, up the hill, like, you know, to dry land.
In your wedding fineries?
I won't tell a lie. I kicked the loafers off. Once I realised this bloke wasn't drowning.
That it wasn't like get down.
It wasn't inappropriate.
Because I saw your outfit. I was like, damn, Eddie's looking suave. To think that you would... Obviously, when a human life is on the line,
but once
a pair of loafers is not worth more than a human life. But if you can see that he's not fully submerged, then you've got a couple of seconds.
I went down to the banks, like to the water's edge.
Had a little sticky beak.
Made an assessment.
Yeah,
got the lay of the land.
Yeah,
this bloke's not drowning, but he's not going to be able to get out.
No, he's stuck here.
He's stuck on his back.
Yeah,
but. The loafers can come off.
I think you probably could have taken the dacks off as well if I'm being complete.
Roll them up.
Yeah, right. Okay. Above the knee.
Oh, to the shin.
Yeah, right.
But who's fucking measuring, right?
Excuse me.
And then we had to get this big fucker, no offense, but he was out of the water, and it was tough going. It was
How many did it take? How many?
4 men.
Four full-grown, full-blooded, thick Australian men.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not the strongest man in the room. We all know that.
No, but you do your best.
I do the best. But you'd have to like prop this fucker up and then get around behind him and push him up. Anyway, it was a big day for the poor bastard. Very rattled, super rattled. But
was he shit-faced?
Yeah, he was telling people his drink had been spiked, which I wasn't buying.
Well, that's yeah. As soon as you say that, you're hammered. Unless you're like at a nightclub and you're a chick who's probably had their drink spiked by some sicko.
People's drink gets spiked, like.
No one's spiking drinks at the wedding.
No. I wouldn't have thought so.
You know, it could have happened though. You could have had too much. Yeah. And fallen down a bank.
Yeah.
And almost cost Eddie his loafers. So how was
But did I feel like a hero? No, I didn't.
Look, you don't want to be called a hero. If other people want to call you that, that's on them.
Exactly right. Exactly. But I hope the bloke's all right. You know, it was a bit, it would have been a shocking situation to find yourself in. Soaking wet, covered in mud.
At the wedding.
Haven't been dragged up a bank, but...
Too pissed.
You know.
Say you've been spiked.
Which no one was buying.
No one was buying, and you probably know that on some level that no one's believing you.
Well, it's just just some feedback. Tom.
Yeah.
My feedback to this gentleman would be that no one was buying what you were selling at the markets.
You're actually better off to say nothing. Don't even say whether you're pissed or not.
You got to try to sell something else next time.
Just be like, sell your age. Oh God, I'm a little older and I lost my footing.
I'm hard of sight.
Yeah.
And I lost my footing. You know, I was enjoying a peaceful moment.
Yeah, just to take it all in.
Yep.
And I slipped and I fell.
You know, I came over here to think about love and what it means and how much it impacts this world, and
you know how much and how important love is right now in the world. And I slipped and I fucking fell down an embankment.
And it happens to the best of us.
How steep is obviously not a rocky embankment.
It was like, what do you mean?
Well, like as in, was it like a hill like this? He fell down.
Yeah, it was like down into the creek.
I'm saying he obviously didn't bounce off rocks, thankfully, but like
no, it was probably like
he just tumbled. He just tumbled
3
down
meters, 2 meters.
Okay, right. He just rolled down a fucking.
He rolled down a hill into the water. Is what happened.
Yeah. Did you see him at the recovery the next day? Or did he keep himself scarce?
Andrew talked to him and he was like, "Yeah." He's like, I didn't want to come today.
I bet he didn't, dude. That was the first thing he thought of when he woke up. Fucking hell, can I change my flight? Get me out of here.
I seen him walk back and just hang his jacket on the back of a chair.
And what, sit back down at the table?
I was like, you poor cunt.
Where have you been? Oh, don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, you're wet, am I?
I'm a bit wet. Oh, yeah.
Bit hot, isn't it?
It's sweaty. No, don't worry. I'm sure you'll find out soon enough. Don't make me go into it. It's been a rough 25 minutes. Oh my God.
But yeah, you gotta laugh about those things.
Well, if it's all good, if everything turns out fine, then you laugh.
And he found his glasses the next day because he lost his glasses. We're like,
On the
mate,
way down the hill at the bankment.
yeah, on the roll.
Fuck, so he's been blind for 24 hours
Like,
as well.
we couldn't find it, but he was poking around there the next day and found it. So
He's gone back.
he went back. Yeah.
Dude, actually, well, that's what they say, that's a way to get over like trauma is to face the thing that's fucked you up. So like he's gone back to the scene he's gone back to the mountain the next day. Now it was out of necessity because he's as blind as a bat, but
he did do it.
Probably would have helped him process.
Yep, what had happened?
Well, because he'd be seeing that he'd be tumbling in his mind for a week at least after that. Just back on the top of that little mountain.
Yeah, he'd be tumbling. Yeah, that's right.
He'd be tumbling.
Yeah. Probably a daily thought becomes a weekly thought. Becomes a monthly thought.
Exactly. You'll go back to that tumble.
You'd go back to that tumble from time to time. You absolutely would. But, fucking hell of a weekend.
So Woodsy sent us this thing that I thought was funny, and I thought it could be worth our just a little peruse at it. They release like bogan fucking baby names each year.
Who does?
Most bogan baby
cares?
names of 2022 revealed. No, news.com.au. Tackling the big issues.
Perfect.
They've got
Rupert gets it.
In the image, they have a child drinking a bourbon and cola.
Okay, right. Well, I hope it's not bourbon.
Well, it's a Photoshop, obviously, but it's...
Oh, yeah, sure. Right.
Still a little bit on the nose with a pack of cigarettes and a tattoo on the arm.
Yeah, but look, I
don't care, but I'm like, it's something that's
and a home that's on a trailer home.
It's actually a little bit fucking elitist, this whole article. I mean, the names are funny, so we can't.
Yeah, but they're fucking...
Their images...
Look, I don't think elitists read news.com.au, do they?
No, that's true.
They'd find this pretty lowbrow. I think it's for the people, by the people.
For the people, by the people. But
about the people.
Yeah, and a kid drinking a Beam and Cola is pretty funny, with a flat cap on.
No less. Left the sticker on the top. Love that. That's how you know it's authentic, Tom.
Yeah, this might be a real kid.
Now, get to the names.
Best bogan names for girls. Brexley? I can't see these to the fucking light. Can you scroll that down a little bit, Dave?
Brexley?
Down. No, sorry. So I get the top one down a bit lower. There we go. Up so you can see a couple of them. Keep going up. Up.
Have Brexley at the top of the page.
Have Brexley at the top of the page. There we go. Brexley.
Eversey? Iversey? Ivycy?
Have they got it out there? Ivy and mangled it beyond recognition. What's
Iversey? That's weird. Jewel? Oh my god.
Oh, Juul.
Jewel as in Jewel, the jewels we used to smoke. Cardi?
Cardi, Kardi.
That'd be like what, Cardi B?
Cardi B, yeah.
Short for Bacardi.
Or Bacardi.
Kior? As in like Dior? The K's must be like a Kardashian thing, right?
You'd think so.
Dude, I can't even pronounce
Mavery. Miracle.
Miracle with two C's. Resilia? As in resilient?
Salmon.
Oh my God. Samanda. That's
Dude,
great.
These are great names.
Dude, Samanda's a ripper.
Samanda's huge. All right.
Brave for
boys.
Draven.
Draven or Draven. Draxler. Cashton.
Noxley. Legend.
Maxon. Raw.
Zaken and Zinc. Oh my God.
Dude, they're fantastic.
They're like new age bogan. You know how everyone's fucking got these new fruity names for kids? I don't know if that period is still upon us.
Dude, the period is still upon us. It's just that it's always a thing now. Like, kids' names have become a little bit more like, there's like cachet in kids' names where it's like, oh, let me name it some really fucking wiggy thing. But it was like Apple was probably the first one that started it when Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin called the kid Apple.
We used to live opposite Bondi Public. I don't know if it is, I think it's called Bondi Public.
It is.
Yeah. And they used to have like fucking new names up there all the time. Like, welcome to so-and-so. And they were fucking out there.
We were looking at those I didn't realize, and it makes sense when I think about it, but like you live in the area that you go to the public school of. Like I didn't know you couldn't send your kid to like Bellevue Hill Public School if you lived in.
You got to get exemptions.
Yeah. But
so does that lock you in for up the road?
No idea.
corner?
But we were looking at Bondi Public as well, and you're like, holy shit, those names, like, it's about people trying to seem like kind of cool. It's like parents trying to be cool.
Obviously it is.
I know, but it's like, even when we were thinking of our like names for Evie and Zoe, like they're just pretty normal names. Like they're not Draxton, you know what I mean? Like
Or Jewel. W.
But the closest I got to being a bit of a fuckboy with the names, I think was Peach for Evie.
You can have a bit. I think you can have a bit more fun with girls' names on the whole.
Yes.
When you start to get fruity with guys' names, it's like, ooh.
Calm down.
Don't you reckon?
Calm down, Zinc.
Zinc.
Zinc is ridiculous.
Where's the zinc? I'm here. No.
Where's Zinc? No, not you, Zinc.
Yeah. But I also think that a name can have a big impact on like your personality. I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I think it is if you're called Zinc.
But if you've got a cool name, right, usually you're a cool guy. Like you don't see many like, for lack of a better term, nerds with cool names.
Look, I don't know, because it's like, does the personality make the name cooler? You know what I mean? Like if you're called Zinc and you're a fucking dude, like a babe, and you're killing it, then maybe Zinc becomes a cool name.
Yeah.
But if you're, World of Warcrafting and...
Dude, I think Zinc fucks. That's what I think, off the top.
And LARPing. Zinc as a LARPer, live action roleplay.
Yeah, I know.
But some people don't.
Right.
If Zinc's a LARP lord, then I don't know that he's necessarily slaying the ladies.
Is there any
or
Zincs,
dudes if he's into it?
Is there any Zincs among us?
Is
there a Zinc among the P and the D?
Yeah, if you're a Zinc, reach out.
If you're a Zinc, reach out and tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you a fucking...
What do
are
you do?
Are you a LARPer or are you...
or are you a lover?
Got a bit about you? Are you a lover? Are you a better?
Michael Jackson calling his kid Blanket, for example.
Blanket was...
That's not even... That's bizarre.
No, but Blanket was weird.
Well, yeah, but Michael was weird.
Yeah, he was.
So you're probably not going to have much of a chance in life with Michael Jackson as your old boy.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. Blanket Jackson, weird stuff. Weird stuff.
But shout out...
For example, if I was a Trent, if my name was Trent Simpson,
yep.
Where does that put me? Does it change my... Does
it change you potentially?
Because my mum was thinking about Trent.
Really?
Yeah.
Your mum liked Trent.
I'm tweaking the story a little bit to make it funnier. Like, it was Trent, but not at the time I was born. Like, in that maybe 5 years leading up, she's like, Trent's the name. And then over time it changed.
Trent Simpson. You would have been a different person as a Trent Simpson.
Don't you reckon? That's what I reckon.
You would have been.
That's why my name was Trent Simpson, and I didn't have my eyes done.
You're a different guy. You're not sitting here.
You don't reckon?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I'm here by myself, or I'm not here at all.
You're probably not here at all.
I'm probably not here at all either, because I've bumped into Trent Simpson at Bathurst Uni, and I'm not. Me and Trent aren't buds.
No,
Trent's twirling fire sticks on the front lawn.
But you wouldn't be anywhere without me. So
well, you wouldn't be anywhere with a name like Trent.
I know. That's the irony of the whole situation.
So really, it's down to your mum just sharpening.
She's changed 2 lives by picking a better name. If I'm a Trent, you're not here. I'm not here.
No disrespect to Trents, though. I feel like you're disrespecting.
Trent for me.
Yes.
Trent for me.
Yeah, you don't look like a Trent.
Me, Trent. Trent, me. I've got Trents. Fucking shout out to Trent. Trent's everywhere. We love Trent.
We love Trents.
This is an anti-Trent.
Trent Waterhouse, Trent Barrett.
This is me, Edward, being given Trent, parlaying that into me not getting my eyes done. So my eyes turn and my name's Trent.
Just so you know, for those of you that don't know, Eddie's eyes were basically at odds with each other when he was very young, and
they didn't see eye to eye.
They didn't see eye to, well, they did see eye to eye, basically directly at each other.
But then they didn't, and then they would
and then they'd go
they'd career off.
Oh, so were they just
I thought they were just always in.
No, I think they were like dancing.
Oh, so they just were wandering.
I think they wandered.
Oh, bro. Okay,
like
so
planets in the night
yeah,
sky.
so it was basically like both eyes leaving home to go find themselves, but on separate journeys.
Yes.
And then we needed
journeys that where they could never find their destination, really.
You had to have medical intervention to basically get them back together.
Yeah, Dr. Chang, shout out to him. One of the greats.
Dr. Chang.
Dr. Chang, yes.
Chang.
Orange Base Hospital, 1996 or 7. That's when it went down. I was probably 6 or 7, so maybe it was like 98.
He had some of the great goggles, did Edward as a young boy.
Yeah, they were thick.
Thick as fuck.
Mum thought, they actually weren't, I didn't need to wear glasses that big. Mum just thought they looked good.
She thought they looked good?
Yeah, she thought me wearing that with a flap hat was like somehow, you know.
But was that with the...
Gonna mean I was gonna find friends. And boots. And a bag that was like...
What sort of boots?
Brown ones. Like riding boots. Yeah. Yeah.
Mama Simpson, fucking... I hope she gave you like a fucked haircut as well, just to make it...
I would have been long and curly and fucking whatever.
I think the glasses are really going to fucking help.
Yeah.
Can we get them thicker, Doc? These don't seem...
You don't need to be thicker.
These don't seem thick enough for me. I want them to be bulletproof.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Need to protect these eyes at all costs.
I think I was basically just going to be Thomas, William, or George, and William and George my middle names. Or Blanche if I was a chick.
Blanche Birmingham.
Blanche or Daisy, I think.
Blanche.
Blanche, a huge day. I think it was a little
Dude,
streetcar
I don't know
named
any
Desire.
Blanches. Do you know
Streetcar
a Blanche?
named Desire, dude.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying, do you know a Blanche?
I don't know a Blanche or a Blanche.
I don't think I've ever run into a Blanche.
No, I'm
in all my time.
No.
Never run into Blanche.
Blanche. And you know what? Mum, I think, decided against it for, well, obviously she had 2 fucking boys, so it wasn't possible, and Bonnie was already Bonnie. But
You were going to be Blanche as a boy.
no, I'm saying if I was a girl, I was going to be Blanche. And I'm saying
Blanche or Blanche?
Well, I'm sure it was probably Blanche in my household, darling, but Blanche if you're Australian.
Bob Hawke's second wife was named Blanche.
That might have been me.
You.
I could have been the
You
next
could have been Bob
Madam
Hawke's
Prime
second
Minister.
wife.
Anyway,
I was going to be Craig up until I was born.
Craig David.
Well, no, not quite, but
Well, no, but you are called David, so
Yeah.
it's Craig David.
Dude, if your name was Craig David, that would be so good.
That would
Craig David Bloom.
Well, Eddie, I'm in a post-cheeseburger world. I'm in a world that is now different. I woke up on a Friday morning having not been a man that's pounded cheeseburgers into the core of the earth. I woke up Saturday.
How
or I
many
finished Friday.
How many had you had in one sitting going into that? Had you ever had more than 2?
I wouldn't think so. Maybe if it was like someone bought a shitload of them and you were hungover or something, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But not anything that I know to be true in my mind. It's not a fun way to spend a day, I can tell you. Like, it is the toughest. It is the toughest thing to do. And obviously there are things in life that, you know, some may argue are tougher, but I'd argue that eating heaps of cheeseburgers might be the hardest thing. Shout out to Waterloo Macca's for housing me. It was very kind of them. I didn't tell them what I was doing, but I think they got an inkling after a while. This guy's just sitting in the same seat pounding cheeseburgers. and fucking reading
There's
the
like,
newspaper.
did you end up talking to him about it?
No, they just laugh at me when I'd go and get them. When I'd go and get more. It was, you know, there was some colourful characters around Waterloo Macca's. I used to live right near there, so it just felt like a comfortable place. But there was some, you know, hairy individuals every once in a while. A couple of dribblers came through, which was nice.
What, had they been looking for you?
Yeah, like a couple of founders. They were like, some the founders in the sense where they were like, I work near a McDonald's, so I thought, fuck it, I'll come and check.
Yeah.
And then they find me and I'm sitting there with like half a cheeseburger in my mouth, and then I'm like, who the fuck's this person? Like, oi, and I'm like, oh, okay. The dribblers found me. bloody Jorge Alday of Baggy Green member fame. He found us with his mate. They came and we shared a cheesy. We cheers to cheesy and fucking.
Oh, you cheers?
Yeah, we cheers with him. Cheers to cheesy and pounded one together, which was nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Funnily enough, and then Kempy came as well, and Kempy sat with me probably for like the final hour. We just shot the shit and pounded them. What I initially thought, like, having people there with me would make it harder because they're watching you and it's a shameful act. But it actually helped to have people distract you from how, like, it gave me a second wind to, like, come home strong.
Yeah, because, mate, 12 to 19, I thought you were done.
I thought I was done. I was like, I'm going to be here forever. And that was a concern. But then I think the thing was, it was like I just set achievable targets. It was, oh, he's fucked that. You know, it wasn't about like, oh, okay, here we go. I've got 5 more. Let's just pound through them. It was like, just have one, shoot the shit. Before you know it, you just start, open another one. Like, it didn't feel good. The crazy thing is about how tired it makes you, because whatever's in there is not good.
No, it's not good.
It's not good at all.
No, it's
and
fucked.
like, I very much considered at certain points, like, I had my laptop and had all my phone and like all this different shit, and I was like, maybe I just like wrap this all, like pack it all into my bag and then just like lay down on the thing and have a sleep. I felt that tired. I was like,
you're gonna have a nap in Macca's.
Well, I didn't have a nap.
But you thought about it.
The idea crossed my mind, yeah. Listen, dude, when you are in that situation, nothing's off the table. No idea is a bad idea because you're already making bad ideas or bad decisions, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you have to consider everything. And there was a consideration, and a serious one at that, that I was going to have a sleep on the bench outside McDonald's. I didn't do it, and I'm glad for that, but I could have.
You could have, because it crossed your mind.
Yeah, it
I
crossed my
understand that. So the first 3? You knew you were fucked? Knew you were in trouble?
Yeah. Well, I think first 2. I went live on IG. Shout out to IG. I went live and I had the first 2, and then I think the second 2 I jammed together in a double.
You did, yes.
And that was like, I knew I was in some trouble then. Because I was just like, this is so much more than I had anticipated. The effect of the bun. Everyone was like, dude, good luck on the toilet tonight. And I was like, well, Steph made a good point. She was like, dude, I actually don't know if you're ever going to shit again.
No, that's what people that I was with were saying. They're like, bro, he could be constipated for days.
Yeah.
Days, because these things aren't good for you.
No, they're not.
They're fucked up.
My mum and my sister were so concerned, which is like over the top concerned. But
were they?
Yeah, like fucking, you know, why are you doing this? Like, you don't need this. I'm like, dude, hey, relax. Like, I know that it's not healthy. Like, we understand here that it's not healthy, right?
Yes.
I'm not doing this. I'm not on a diet eating 19 fucking Macca's burgers. I have to do this.
Yeah, you had to.
I had to do it.
You had to, yeah.
So, you know, but then my sister the next day is sending me like, this is what you should be eating for today. Like, you know, you've got to clean out. Your liver's going to be working overdrive trying to process it. I'm like, I get it. And she's right. I'm sure my liver was working overdrive. But I basically just fasted for fucking 24 hours after I did it. I just didn't eat anything. I just drank water.
Oh, is that what we did? Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't eat. As soon as I finished, I went home after I finished. I just said to Steph, I'm like it felt good once you finished, but then I'm like sitting in the car. Honestly, driving home was like, I felt like it was dangerous for me to be on the roads. It was how tired I was when I finished driving home. Like, I was just not there. But I was on the phone to Steph and I was like, listen, when I get home, I still I need to be I'm going to come home, have a shower, and I need to go to bed. Like, I feel like I've been, you know, in old school when Will Ferrell gets hit with a tranquilizer dart, there's a fucking dart in your neck, and he sort of collapses into the pool.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like I've been hit with a trank, and I just need to lay down. She was like, yeah, it's cool. We'll leave the house. So I got back, and I had a shower, and I got into bed. And then I've obviously just conked the fuck out, like just passed out. Oh my God. Completely, like I was completely out. And then I get a phone call and I just sort of like startles me awake. And I'm looking at my phone and it says 5:15. The sun's up and it's and I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
why is Steph calling me at 5:15 in the morning? What's going on? Why is the sun up? Is she all right? Like, what's happening? And I just start freaking out, like, because I don't know what's going on. Nothing makes sense. And, like, it took me maybe 30 seconds to a minute to realize today's the same day you pounded cheeses into the earth. You've fucked yourself up so much that you've completely passed out, and you've only actually been asleep for 2 hours. But it felt like I've been asleep for an entire night. And then I woke up and I was so out of it. I was out of it for like the next maybe 3 hours. Like I just couldn't pay attention. Like I was just...
Oh, it fucked you up.
Dude, like it proper fucked me. I was like, oh, this is... Obviously you are aware of like, you know, what you put into your body is going to like help your body to be its best.
Energy.
Yeah. But to be like
fuel in a
focused,
car, bro.
to be sharp, to be just to be present. And it was like, oh, to eat this much bad food en masse, at scale, it'll fuck you.
I wonder what is going on down at the
Molecular level.
Yeah. Like,
dude, they're probably...
Is it because your body's using so much energy trying to digest this shit? Is that what it is? Is that what's...
Probably. But also like, I guess if you've got that much sugar in something, it's like this. Can you just, how much sugar
you're like
is,
a sugar crash.
How much
maybe.
sugar is in a cheeseburger?
Fair bit, I think.
I bet you it is.
The rumor that was always that they put the pickle on the bun because
It then makes it like,
otherwise it was classed as a dessert.
yeah.
Or something.
It's 6 grams of sugar in a cheeseburger.
That's not as much as I thought. What's 19 times 6 though?
So 60.
Or 20, 120.
So like 115 or something.
Oh wait, hang on. Sorry, that's it's 6 grams per 100 grams, so it's actually 7 grams overall.
Oh, well.
So a cheeseburger's 700 grams?
We looked it up. It was like 4,900 calories or something. Call it 5,000 calories that you had.
That's so bad.
Just
That is
in
bad.
Macca's, just in one sitting.
Yeah.
Well, over 5 hours, obviously. 5 hours, 17. 19? I can't believe you had 19. 19's fucked. I didn't think because when we were talking about it, I was like, obviously the plan was to do 20 in 4, but I was like, I don't reckon that's possible.
No. But neither did
had
I.
you down for like, maybe like
I got
14.
I got a better start than I thought I got, in the sense that like, I think I had 6 or 7 in the first hour. And so I was kind of ahead of the game a little bit in terms of my required output to knock off 20 and 4. I ended up doing 19 and 5. But I just started chipping away, and it just sort of happened quicker. And like when people rock up, they buy you one. Whereas if they hadn't rocked up, I probably just would have been laying there and not eating them.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, well, fucking, you got to have some.
What was the longest period in between cheesies?
I don't know, but there was a period certainly after, I think maybe after the 6 or 7 in the first hour. And then I had like 1 in the second, like at the start of the second hour. And I was like, nah, bruh, fuck this. And I went and sat on the toilet. And then I was like trying to read the paper and like just, you know. Anyway, I was at a birthday party, like a 60th or not 60th, like 70th maybe, or just like 69th or
a birthday party.
A birthday party for elderly people. And my mum kept bringing up what I was doing, and just like me trying to explain to like old people who are like have lived a life of like, they're like, someone owns a restaurant and someone like, you know, does this and so on. And it's like, oh yeah, my son, he does podcasting and he fucking ate 19 cheeseburgers on Friday. And I'm like, yeah, look, I don't know how to explain that to you without it sounding as ridiculous as it sounds, but I did do it, and technically it was my job. So,
well, it was your job.
Well, I know, but you know, like trying to explain that to someone who's built a career on like something that's not completely fucking stupid.
The world's changed, bro.
The world's changed. You can now be a professional cheeseburger eater. I would advise against it. I will never do it again. I'm never entering into any bet where that's the outcome.
Will you have another cheeseburger in your life, do you think? Or do you think where are you and the cheeseburger at?
We're cool.
Are you still mates?
We're cool.
Are you still cool?
It's not the cheeseburger's fault that I had to do what I had to do. I don't want one for a while. And I was never a huge cheeseburger operator anyway. You know?
What's your go-to burger?
I fucking don't have a go-to burger at Macca's. I like chicken nugs. I'm a big nugs guy, so I'll get like maybe 10 nugs, chips. Oh, actually, sausage and egg McMuffin. Sausage and egg is my go-to. Huge go-to. Now, you can get the Mighty McMuffin, which I had a couple of weeks ago and I was hungover, and we're not sponsored by McDonald's. Bacon, sauce. That actually is really fucking good. But I'm a sauce is like my bread and butter.
It's your bread and butter.
What are you?
Quarter pounder.
Of course. That's meat and potatoes. Apparently that's the most unhealthy one though.
Double quarter pounder.
Well, you would assume so, yeah. But of there, maybe their staple
Double
range.
quarter pounders are smacky.
Yeah.
They're the smackiest burger all time.
Yeah, that's basically.
I don't reckon you could have more than, like, I reckon if you had 3 of them, that's it.
Well, you know what? In
Good
terms of
night.
like, if you want sort of a natural opiate where you don't have to like do heroin or morphine, just have 3 to 4 double quarter pounders and you'll be out of it. You'll stop feeling.
comatose.
You won't
Yeah.
feel anything anymore.
No. And your legs might stop working.
Yes.
So be careful.
Have I ever told you about the McGriddle?
Oh, no, I've heard of the McGriddle.
What's a McGriddle?
McGriddle is basically a egg and bacon McMuffin. So it's got cheese, egg, and bacon, but instead of the like buns, they have 2 kind of pancake things which are filled with maple syrup.
Oh, dude.
Where the fuck are McGriddles served?
America.
Yeah, America. They were in New Zealand for a limited time, like Turkey, Canada, Poland, Japan, Mexico, Philippines, Singapore. Never came to Australia.
We don't need that in our life.
No, there's nothing about that says Australia to me.
Well, like the KFC, where it was like the chicken was the buns, is probably as close as I've
yeah,
seen.
but this is very like
Yankee
maple saucy. Like,
yeah.
Fucking
yeah. Chicken
put
bacon.
in, let's go to the ice rink. Like,
I tell you what, I never understood in America. What they have grits.
don't know what a grit is.
Can you just check grits in America? I think it's called grits.
With a Z or an S?
GRITS, maybe.
What is grits?
I think it's like I'd always heard it, and I was like, I don't know what these are, and I'm pretty sure when I was over there, it's like a porridgey thing.
Yeah, so it says here, grits is a porridge made from boiled cornmeal.
Okay, but it seems like it's something that's massive over there, or at least massive compared to here. Or is it just their porridge and they just call it grits, and I just am overthinking?
I feel like it might just be their porridge because
Okay.
they're big on their corn and stuff. There, 'cause
Okay.
they got lots of that.
Well, that's fair.
The dish originated with Native American tribes, and American colonists learned to make the dish from the Native Americans. It quickly became an American staple. I think it was probably one of those foods like, 50, 60 years ago that you could just make even if you had like 2 cents because you just boil up a bit of corn.
Yeah, right. A nice, easy dish.
Nice and cheap.
I'm thinking of trying to just go vegan this week after.
Vegetarian or vegan?
Well, whatever. I'm still going to eat fish.
Pescatarian.
Yeah. I'll still eat fish, but everything else.
Good for you, buddy.
I just feel like I need a fucking reset.
Well, are you
you definitely need a reset.
milk in your coffee today? Oat milk? What do we have?
Oat milk.
Oat milk. All right.
Now,
Off to a good start.
have the cheeseburgers left the building?
I think so. I think that, you know what, like, we're talking about, like, are you just going to never shit again after 19 cheeseburgers? I think for me, and again, I apologize to anyone who is eating their breakfast or a meal of any situation while you listen to this. I am a frequent user of the bathroom anyway, so the fact that it slowed me down, it slowed down the sort of the production line from maybe 2 to 3 a day to 1 a day. I think that was its version of gumming me up. So I assume they've left the building now, but I don't think they'd left the building yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it was like, none of it's felt like good.
No,
It hasn't been like, oh, this is like the worst experience ever. It's kind of like COVID. I've had worse.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good. There was also a part of me that was a little disconcerted as to how well I took it. Like, I didn't feel great on Saturday, but I didn't feel that bad.
As in, you could do it again.
No, definitely I wouldn't do it again, but I didn't feel as bad on the Saturday as I thought I'd feel. My body was like, all right, we can work through this. You've probably punished us worse in some respects.
Yeah. Well, you would have, Oh, shout out to Leighton Meester, who is in a really ordinary whodunit crime thriller out on Netflix. Really ordinary, but so good because of how ordinary it is.
What is it? Leighton Meester of In a Movie with Nude Soon fame.
Of Nude Soon's Soon's old
Flame fame.
wrestling partner fame.
In the film. Yes.
And also had that one song fame.
Didn't know that.
Do you remember that? I think it was with like 303.
I don't know who that is.
Come on, I mean.
Dave, what year were you born?
2003.
2003?
2008.
2008. Dave's 12.
2008.
10. 12.
When were
14.
you born, honestly?
98. All right, here we go. Yeah, her song was Good Girls Go Bad with Cobra Starship.
Love that.
It was very niche at the time.
Love it.
She
Good
also
Girls
had a
Go
single,
Bad.
Somebody to Love, with Robin Thicke of Blurred Lines fame.
Wasn't he a
Me Too fame?
Wasn't he a
Yeah.
toucher?
Yeah, Me Too fame.
Who did he?
Radijakowski.
Yeah, that's right.
He got Me Too'd and he
Because
got...
she was nude, wasn't she, in that?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that kind of...
Well, that
shot her
song's
off.
kind of been cancelled now, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's all about like blurred lines, like I'm doing the wrong thing. Da, 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 da.
Was that what the song was about?
Well, blurred lines. It's like we're blurring the lines between like I know you want it. Da, da, da.
Oh, that's the song.
And
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
also got sued for copying, I think, like a Marvin Gaye bass line for the song and lost the case.
Right.
Okay, so Leighton
So
Meester.
double cancel.
So I'm just trying to short ball the punter and the dribbler, the song, the movie name, Dave.
Leighton Meester, thriller, Netflix, Dave. Clownfish just come up on the screen. Watched Nemo with Eve the other day. That movie fucking holds up, obviously.
The Weekend Away.
The Weekend Away. The Weekend Away. Poorly written, poorly executed, didn't matter. Had me by the balls on Sunday afternoon. Had me by the scruff of my neck. Loved it.
Really?
Oh, fuck yeah.
The Weekend Away.
So easy to watch. So shit.
Okay,
But
good.
so good.
Good. All
So
right.
good.
That's also, that is worth noting that, like, you know, we talk about a good rom-com on a Sunday. A really shit, like, thriller,
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah, really, really shit. Really shit. Little bit of com in there, not much. More just a thrill.
Thrill com.
It was just a thrill. Just a thriller.
Shit thriller.
Back to what you said about Nemo.
Yeah. That movie
Can I
holds,
tell you
that
something,
movie
Tom?
holds the fuck
Can
up.
I tell you something? If it's Pixar and the movie title isn't The Good Dinosaur, it holds up.
Good Dinosaur, not good?
Didn't hold up. The only Pixar shocker they've done.
I've never seen it.
There you go. The rest of them are fucking rock star. Nemo, almost top of the list. Finding Dory, a great flick, but Finding Nemo.
Never watched Finding Dory. Do you know what I
Really?
realised?
Oh, Finding Dory's slow. Sad. So sad.
Yeah, don't want to
It's
watch
so
it.
good.
Don't want to watch it.
It's so good.
I only
Are you going to
realised...
deny your daughter Finding Dory?
No, she likes Dory now and she likes Nemo. I only clocked the name Dory as being like the John Dory fish, Dory. At least I assume that's why it's fucking she called Dory. Did you clock it? You didn't, did you?
Well,
You only clocked it just now. It's okay, you can admit it. And I'm sure many people did.
But Dory is a royal blue tang fish. Not
So it is a
not
type
the
of
John
fish.
Dory.
it's
So
a
I didn't even
Dory.
clock the right thing.
No, it might be. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, that-
but
no,
it's not that type
no,
of fish.
What do you mean? It looks.
If there's a Dory fish, then that's what that is.
it looks like one.
Is that what a Dory fish looks like,
She
Dave?
looks like
No,
one.
this is a royal blue tang. Is what Dory is.
Then I reckon, well, you can't call it Tang.
Oh, she's not a John Dory.
Yeah,
No, but I think
Dory's
the
a bit
name, I feel like that's where the name came from.
Yeah, sure.
I could be wrong. They certainly don't look the same.
Sure.
But I mean, you know, like, why would you? I guess you wouldn't call it a fish like tuna if it wasn't one.
Good to see Sydney acknowledged and Australia acknowledged in a Pixar
Oh, you mean
film.
P32 Wallaby? What is it? P32 Wallaby Way?
P42.
P42 Wallaby Way?
Yeah.
Sydney?
That's
P Sherman 42.
Would it be
P
Ways?
Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. Not a real street, punters dribblers.
But good to see it getting a shout out. I tell you what else has fucking got me wet. Lightyear.
It gets you wet, did it?
Yeah. Have you
No.
seen the trailer? for
I know the
Lightyear,
trailer.
dude?
No, the trailer
It's
does.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Pixar not fucking around
It's
with
like it's kind of like a blockbuster Pixar, you know?
Fuck yeah, bro.
Like Nemo's not blockbuster. This is like blockbuster.
That's like cute and cuddly.
Yeah.
With like lessons and shit.
Yeah, lessons. This is
This looks like, oh,
This is
shit.
wetness.
Hang on. This is what wetness looks like. This is wetness personified.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is wetness squared. This is fucking wetness to the integer, bro. Jesus Christ. It's so good.
Integer. Sure. Yeah, no, it's wet. Buzz Lightyear is a fucking... It's very, very exciting to see that. It's not out yet, is it?
No, it's not out.
No, it's not out.
The trailer's out.
The trailer's been out for fucking ages. They're
wetting up.
They're cock teasing.
Getting us wet.
They're getting us wet.
Did you hear that there was some controversy over the film in the week because there was a same-sex kiss that was going to be in the film between two female characters, which was then taken out, but then there was a backlash and then it was put back in.
Why was it taken out?
I trust the storytelling of Pixar.
Yeah.
If they were like, are we just trying to squeeze this in?
Was the backlash that they took it out, or was the backlash that it was in and then taken out and then...
No, that was taken out.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
So, but I'm saying I trust the writers for, like, if it made sense, leave it in. Didn't make sense?
Don't put it in.
Don't put it in.
Yeah. It doesn't all have to be about... Because I also find if you shoehorn something in there just because you're trying to, like...
Hit a quota or whatever.
Whatever
you know
it
what
is,
I mean.
then it loses its meaning. Like, you're not shoehorning gay scenes into Brokeback Mountain. It's gay scenes.
Yeah.
Right?
It's...
You know what I mean, though, right? You're not shoehorning that in. It's because...
Like if you were like...
It doesn't need to be a gay movie to have a same-sex kiss in it. I'm using extreme there. But, like, it's much more meaningful if there's meaning to it.
Agreed.
That being said, I'm happy to see a Pixar fucking growl out if it makes sense.
Well, it's probably not going to, given the G rating that they look for.
Well, that's true.
A
scissor in the Pixar.
Look, scissoring, growling,
blowing,
anal,
sucking, fucking,
all that shit. Usually not in Pixar films.
But is Buzz going to be a G rating? Maybe Buzz is a bit more. It does seem like a bit more of a mature Buzz.
Buzz growing up. Buzz going back.
Buzz
home.
Uncut.
Buzz Uncut. Him and
Buzz
Jesse.
After Dark.
Him and Jesse getting up to no good.
Who's Jesse?
His love interest from fucking the second one.
I thought it was Andy, his owner.
No,
Buzz and Andy.
Jesse was the cowgirl.
Sorry, I thought you were saying like Buzz and Andy get into it.
No, I didn't say that, did I?
Well, you said Jesse, and I thought maybe you were getting Andy confused.
How so?
Well, because I thought that I don't know who the fuck Jesse was, so I'm thinking you were getting it like.
So it could have been any character in the movie, but you thought maybe I meant Andy.
Well, Jesse and Andy. I felt like that could have been a realistic relationship there if Andy, his owner, all grown up.
Sure. Sure.
Anyway,
there is some talk that that Lightyear is going to be PG-13, which would make it the only one out of Pixar's films. But I can't see anything that confirms that.
Bit of scissoring would.
Maybe there's some scissoring. That kiss might lead to a little scissor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Get that PG-13 smacked on there.
Yeah.
Blur it out for G rating.
You'd blur it out.
Well, you could blur it out if you wanted the G.
I don't know. Would you?
Does a scissor behind a blur equal a G?
How much is blurred is probably what it does. Because I mean, are you blurring just point of contact? Because then I'd say it's still probably PG-13. Maybe even
you're just blurring.
Just blurring point of contact.
Point of contact, but there's still legs showing. Stilettos in there.
Or space boots. I don't know what they're.
High-heeled space boots.
High-heeled. Yeah. Well, that'd get you PG-13, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there's no hiding from that. If you can see that, you're fucked. If you're looking for a G.
If you're looking for a G rating.
Now, if G doesn't
you're out of
bother
luck.
you, yeah, you're shit out of luck. You're shit out of luck.
If you're comfortable with a PG-13 and up, point of contact blurring, all you need. You, I'm assuming, had something better to do, because otherwise why would you leave me?
Well, I had to go, and we missed a friend's wedding of ours. Wedding clash.
So you were saying their name was Clash. I was like, that's a
So
fucking
we
name.
had a dinner booked in, which was lovely, in Manly. Buster, shout out to Buster.
Shout out to Manly.
Shout out to Manly.
We'll get to him, but shout out to Manly.
Shout out to Manly. There was something in the air down in Manly. Ripped down there, a few Negronis, a few Tommy's Margs.
Oh yeah.
Plenty of yarns, plenty of giggles, plenty of laughs. I broke a chair. I was so animated telling a story that I like leant back into it and it snapped.
That's the when you get pissed and on one into a yard. That's like almost your superhuman strength. It's just
I get really strong when I'm telling a yarn. Really strong.
Yeah, when you're in and you snap the chair.
Yeah, I snapped the chair. Yeah, yeah. And then I had to spend the next 10 minutes sort of leaning forward, and then we left. So
they didn't know.
I was like, I'm not. Well, they might be listening now, but
did the people you were having a conversation with know you broke the chair?
It was all it was pretty fucking obvious when they heard the snap. But the restaurant didn't know because I was fuck that.
You didn't tell the restaurant?
Nah.
That's pretty dog of you, dude.
Maybe.
Yeah. Look, I think you probably.
I just assumed they had a sparey out the back. And
well, I mean, look, I guess to be fair, if you were just sitting and it being animated, that is what a chair is for. It's not like if you were throwing it around and break, you don't pay for a plate you break.
Look, if that was my own chair and I just bought it, I would be disappointed with the craftsmanship.
Okay.
Because I wasn't stomping on this thing.
No.
I wasn't jumping on it.
You are a yarn. You do get physical.
It wasn't yarn proof, this chair.
It wasn't yarn proof.
And
they need to be.
They need to be.
If it's in a restaurant.
If it doesn't have YP on the side of it, don't sit in it if you're a yarner of note.
Yeah.
And you're looking to spin a couple.
We've got yarn-proof chairs.
Night.
Tell you what,
fucking oath.
the new studios, those are yarn-proof.
New ones are yarn-proof. We insisted on it. We got yarn-proof. We only ever buy yarn-proof.
Well, but you had to go antique because a lot of chairs these days aren't made yarn-proof because it's like the planned obsolescence of the phone.
We live in an obsolescent time where people are more interested in making things shit, so you buy more of them, than making things to last. We went antique. We went old school. We've got yarn-proof chairs. You'll see them shortly. Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
But I had a great night, Tom.
Did you finish the yarn after you broke the chair?
Yeah, I finished it, yeah. We laughed about it, and then I finished it.
And then you finished it. There you go. Hey, never let a little breakage of a chair, a non-yarn-proof chair.
Never let a breakage get in front of a yarn and punters and dribblers. Take that to the bank. That's a lesson to live by. Yep. Spend your life living by. Yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
I would like to say something, though, Tom.
The floor is yours.
I know it is. Fuck you to flat packs.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Fuck the lot of you.
Yeah, fuck flat packs. That's what this episode is about. That's what this episode is called. Fuck flat packs.
I had to... So, obviously I'm handier than Tom.
Not much handy, though, we found out.
But I am handier.
Not much. I'm pretty handy. We found out.
At the end of the day, when we go home and put our heads down on the pillow, we both know that I am handier.
By a fucking whisker.
But like I am taller, I am handier. So
I don't know if you are taller.
Well, we've done it. And
have we?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
When the fuck did we do that?
You've forgotten. So I take on the big undertaking, the producer's desk.
Yeah, which we have paid to have set up. We paid for someone to come out and do, and they didn't do it.
Well, they didn't do it, and they were like, "Oh, can I do it in a month?" No, you can't, bruh. Now,
and then when I keep asking how to get a refund, they don't respond to those text messages. Pieces of shit.
Now, there's a million pieces, and there's a million fucking doors, and
desks and
drawers,
doors, screws,
hinges, screws, dowel, fucking.
What's a dowel?
Like little bits of wood.
Oh, right.
And it was a fucking cunt of a thing. Took me about 5 or 6 hours, I reckon.
The funniest bit was when it was like Sebo needed to set up the computer on a desk, and the whole thing was like, yeah, don't worry, we'll have that set up for you before you come in.
Before we come in, we got there. We
got there after him. He beat us there, and then it took us like 2 days after that to actually get it built. And he's like, "All right, I've done all I can do without a desk, so I got to go." Like, yeah, no, you go. Sorry.
I had to, my back's playing up, my lower back, so I needed to make sure that it was like super straight the whole time, which meant that I had to squat down. My legs are fucked. I've been like waddling around.
My
the house
hammies are
and shit.
tight actually as well from fucking the thing I set up.
Yeah, because I couldn't bend over. I'm like, I can't.
I didn't realize your back was that bad. You know what I respect about you? You don't complain that much when you're in pain. Everyone would know. Like, everyone would know my back was playing up. And I'd be grunting and growling and like, but I always respect people who are better at just going like that old school, like granddad mentality of like, fucking just deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I've been in? Like, they just don't tell you that they're in like excruciating pain, even though you're telling them now.
Yeah, look, I am telling you now. It can be managed, but by managing it means I can't bend over. I've just got to squat and keep it super straight. And the legs, mate, the burn was deep. That's why I had to keep getting up and like walking around and sitting down and shit. Because I was fucked. It was like a serious workout. I was sweating and shit.
You were sweating. I didn't realize how much, like, again, I was building like a TV cabinet, which I impressed myself with, but
Couldn't
not
do the
about
doors,
me.
though, could you, buddy?
Well, I couldn't handle the doors. We had to build it there.
Don't try and pretend like you could do the doors.
I said we couldn't. I couldn't handle the doors.
Well, you went to say that you could.
The reason I couldn't handle them was I think it was a bridge too far for my technical capabilities, which I'm happy to like. I didn't want to fuck the doors up, which is the most important part of a goddamn TV cabinet.
Would have erected.
It would have, because I did one of them and it was like drooping off of it. And I was like, okay, well, I've fucked this. Thank God Arkins was there.
It wasn't flat.
It was shitty. It was like a droopy fucking door.
It was a mess.
But when you got up from doing the table, the desk, I was like, oh, your white T-shirt is just dotted with sweat all over your chest. I was like, oh, you are getting into some work over there.
And I'm not a big sweater by
No,
trade.
I didn't. I've never really seen your shirt yet like that.
No, I'm not a big sweater by trade. So the fact that I'm sweating, putting together a flat pack producer's desk tells you everything you need to know about the situation I found myself
Yeah,
in.
which was, I guess, what just had to have your core on to try and keep your back straight. And then
I was activated all day, dude. I was activated. God, I was activated. But the DeWalt, got a fucking workout. I would have been rooted without that thing.
But see, I got to use the drill as well, and I was like, I was getting photos. I was getting them to take photos to send to my mother-in-law. I was like, send them to Steph. I'm like, wait, send her these of me being a handyman, because she thinks I'm useless, which largely I am, but I think she'll be pretty impressed to see me crouched over.
Did she reply going, is that DeWalt?
yeah. Well, she's as handy as fuck. You're going to talk about a handyman, she'd be putting me to shame. But I didn't send it to her because I didn't want to be like, hey, look at me. So I was like, Steph, just make sure Marina sees this so that next time she comes around, I can go, did you see that fucking drill video?
Yeah.
I haven't heard from her yet, though. So.
Well, look, I mean, she's just taking time to digest it, I think, mate. You know.
She probably thought it was staged.
Well, in some ways it was.
In some ways it was staged, but it wasn't, because I was doing it. I was doing it. And with pretty much no fuck-ups.
Pretty much.
Like the door, but as soon as I did that, I went, you know what, time to put the fucking screwdriver down and get a real handyman to put the doors on.
Yeah, a really handy man.
A man who's handy.
Handy
Whose
man.
business is being handy.
Handy man, attractive.
Very attractive. Dude, imagine us trying to get that TV up. The whole time we were having issues, and just watching Arkins like look at it and look at the problem and understand what needs to be done. I was like, dude, this would not happen without someone.
I tell you why you'd be fucking awful as a builder. Like
one of the many reasons?
Well,
I'm
just
sure.
like one of the many reasons. I remember I was building a deck with Tom. I wasn't building, I was helping. I was assistant.
Yeah.
And the amount of math involved is actually like way more than I would ever think.
Yes.
Like there's a fuckload of math going on.
Yeah, dude, I'm not.
To keep it, you make it square. There's like equations and shit going on. I'm like, good Lord. Good Lord.
I tell you what else is like.
Which would do you in, buddy.
Dude, it'd do me in immediately. One of the things that I found cool about Arkins being a handyman, like the way handymen do shit. Yeah. The way they hold their tape measures. So like if you and me are trying to measure something, it's like, wait, can you hold this up here? And then I'm like, they just one-handed like flick it up and just sort of like drag it up the wall. And then like, oh, well, mate, look, you can come down to here. Like a one-handed use of the tape measure, and they just drag it down there. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, no, you want it longer, do you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm all at sea with one of those. I'm like, it's flopping around and shit, and it's making noises.
It's alpha.
It gets kinked.
Yeah, it's alpha.
The way they do it, I'm like, oh, this is
Yeah. And then they whip out a really sharp Stanley knife.
to sharpen their big, thick pencil.
Yeah.
The huge builder's pencils. Yeah. Those are pencils, dude.
When you're sharpening your own pencil with a Stanley knife,
Yeah.
like you don't have to, you know, when you're bringing your own sharpener, like the old school.
Yeah.
Mate, you don't belong in a,
You're not on a
building site.
Get off site. You're kicked off site immediately.
Could you imagine that?
I'd come with a pencil case to a job.
Imagine you your first day.
Couple of HBs and a fucking sharpener.
And a razor and shit. Get off.
Get out of here. No, you've been sacked.
You've been sacked.
With my new high vis.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
High vis on the resi site with your hard hat and your pencil sharpener. Mate, there's the door, bro.
Get out. You've been sacked before you've fucked up a nail.
Yeah. But when the tool belt comes on.
Oh, bro.
You know.
Are you kidding me?
The tape measures out. It's hot stuff.
It's hot stuff, dude. You feel safe around, like, and I mean safe in the sense, like, anything's possible.
Anything's possible. You're like, mate, what do you want here? I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in your hands. I'm putty in your hands.
Yeah, I'm
bro.
putty in your
You
hands.
tell me what's possible. Well, let's do this and that and here and there. And you're like, okay, you know.
And shit.
Mate, do you know that frame, did you see the frame?
Yeah.
You know that Charlie built that on the ground and then picked it up himself and slipped it in there. I'm like,
Again, that's
what the fuck?
They're just, it's like, that's what you got to do. You got to be tough and be able to do shit. You and I'd be like, fuck. We'd be sitting there for like 40 minutes trying
Mate,
to
I
work
would
out
have
how
been
to
on the
do
boat
it.
of 5 or 6 men going, I need 6 or 7
I need
strong
six
men down here.
strong, trustworthy men.
Because you had to get it under like
The thing. The fire.
Sprinkler.
Yeah, sprinklers.
The fire
So
sprinklers.
you need to angle it.
And then he goes, it was a mongrel job, but I got it. I got there. And then when I went in there, I'm like, this frame's fucking massive. Would have weighed a ton.
Yeah, I thought he just built it in there.
Well, he was going. He was like, nah, it would have been too hard. So it's built on the floor. And then jimmied her up into.
There you go.
And it's, you know, I gave it a shake, Tom, and it was strong and it was true.
Well, speaking of strong and true, we got a couple of green screens built because that's basically where About Even will be taking place. And we needed them in an ideal world to be movable.
Yes.
We wanted to be able to basically have...
In a perfect world.
In a perfect world, green screen one side, then something on the other side, so we could like flip it around and use the other side for stuff. Now, basically just for like another background. Shout out to my boy Daniel who made them for us. He's made some fucking good green screens. They're true and they're huge and they'll do the goddamn job. Unfortunately for us, they weigh a metric ton and will never move again. They are now in their final resting place for all eternity.
Like Titanic is at the bottom of Atlantic.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to the Titanic. I think it's got like 10 years left before it's completely gone.
Completely gone.
Yeah, just getting eaten away.
Isn't that crazy? Because you still find these like boats from like hundreds and hundreds of years ago that are just all good. Is it the type of water they're in or what it's made out of?
I think it's probably the water, potentially. I don't know.
No.
Like the bacteria is eating it.
That's what I mean, right? Like, is it like the bacteria has
depth? Is it a depth thing? It could be a depth thing. I don't know. Like the steel is oxidized or some shit. I don't know. Besides the point.
The green screens are huge.
Green screens are huge. I'm not against getting on the blower to Guinness Book of World Records and going, just come down and measure these things and weigh them. And are we a sniff?
Are we a sniff at the biggest green screens, both size and weight all the time?
I think we'd be a sniff.
Yeah.
I genuinely think we'd be a sniff.
I think we'd be a sniff now. Is there functionality to having them that heavy and that big? Probably not.
But
certainly not from a weight standpoint.
But sometimes bigger is better.
Oh, definitely.
Again, the Titanic, it was all about size and grandeur.
Grand Canyon, you know, that's natural wonders. So I guess you go Titanic, pyramids, green screens, Sphinx. Centrepoint Tower.
I was walking in the city the other day with Jarchy and I was just going, bro, look at this fucking building, right? Or like this tower. It is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. Like,
it's useless until the top, right?
75% of the building is not even there. It's a complete waste of space.
It's a pole, right?
It's a pole. It's literally a pole.
Centrepoint pole.
It's a centrepoint pole with like something on top.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up there. I know there's a restaurant that rotates.
Let's go to the revolving restaurant in Centrepoint Tower. It revolves.
I know it does.
Let's do it.
Dude, that's so Ghibli. We're definitely doing it.
Let's do that.
We'll do a review up there.
Yeah, let's do a centrepoint pole.
I don't even know what sort of cuisine it is.
I've never been up there.
If there's lobster, we're getting it.
Bro, let's get up there and be decadent. Let's
Super decadent. Like Dom,
yeah,
fucking lobsters and shit.
Let's get
and
up
then
to the
rotate.
center point pole and fucking just spin around the city while we chow down.
The only thing I remember about that fucking pole is that when we went to Sydney on the year 5 excursion, they told us that if you unravel the wires that hold it up, they stretch to New Zealand. I don't know if that's bullshit or not. Dave's got the
menu up here.
3-course menu at Centre Point, 89 per person. That's fine.
not bad if you're going for a decadent center point pole fucking food review. What do we got here? Entrees, Sydney Rock. Yep.
Scallops, spatchcock, and the
Okay.
panna ricotta, the Richmond pumpkin
Panna cotta.
panna cotta. Yep, sure.
Mains, pan-fried Eden John Dory, white Pyrenees lamb backstrap, roasted miso eggplant, Northern Rivers Berkshire pork cutlet. Holy shit, premium steaks from the grill. Yes, please.
You can get a Scotch fillet, a ribeye, or a tenderloin. Beautiful
Sides,
stuff.
blanched and charred chantenay carrots, orange dressing, baby coriander, twice cooked house chips. Yes, please. Desserts, what are we looking at? Valhona milk chocolate, passion fruit, caramelia ice cream, gold leaf.
Look, I know it probably wouldn't fit in with like the cuisine that they're offering, but I would have liked to have seen a tiramisu on there.
Yes.
I love tiramisu.
Yeah, I'm not mad at a tiramisu.
I'm not gonna.
Can we go to the booze menu though, David?
Yep.
I'm not going to run away from it.
Okay, what do we got here?
That's he's on the food
yeah,
menu,
I have
bro.
to
you
up
got
a
the
separate
food.
menu.
Oh,
for
okay,
the-
good. I was going to say, what the fuck's going on here?
But
Wine
here we are,
list.
How long is this thing? Not that long.
24 pages.
Oh, fuck it. We're not going through 24 pages.
No, oh, fuck no, we're not. What do they got on the booze? On the beers? Okay.
Fuck the beers. What are we?
Well,
We're
no, I
going
was just
for the Dom, bro.
Yeah. Can we get some champers?
Go to Penfolds there, page 6. See what they got here. Nothing that ritzy. No, the next page.
No, next page. Oh, here we go. Champers.
Getting richier. Dom
Dom.
Perignon,
Holy
1998,
shit,
1080.
dude.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Yeah, that'll do, mate. Couple of bottles of that.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, are you serious? Who the fuck would spend? It'd want to taste so fucking good.
Dude, if you're worth 100 million, as if you give a fuck about $1,000.
No, absolutely not.
It's
but
a
I'm-
flex. You
but-
go, we'll get
yeah.
the 98.
Is that it though? It's just pure flexing.
Of course it's pure
It's not because
flexing.
it tastes that
Oh,
good.
mate, there'd be a couple people on the planet.
Listen,
you could count on probably 2 hands the people on the planet that could go, mate, that's
That's good.
That's a 98
Yeah,
Dom.
okay, listen, if there is anyone from Centrepoint Pole who revolving restaurant, what's the name of the restaurant?
If a dribbler works there, dude, I'll lose it.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, if you want us to come and do a review, like, send us in, you know, and let us in.
We'll pay for it. But also, if you want
to put it on the house, this is a ritzy restaurant who's selling $1,000 bottles of champers. It's not like it's a mum and pop shop. We're asking for free feed.
That's true.
Bring us in, show us the finer things.
Why don't you wine and dine us?
Wine and dine us?
And we'll show you what's possible from a...
What tequilas they got?
Ooh, bitch. Ooh.
Okay.
That's not going to cut
It's
it.
not a lot of tequila there. Not a lot. Need to step up their game.
No Patron on there.
No Patron.
And Yeho, which I'm like drinking like water.
Okay. That's something that we're going to do. But if you work there or own it, just like wine and dine us.
Reach out. Okay.
Because I can't afford the Dom Perignon, but I want to be given it.
Yeah, that's right.
Surely they can write that off.
No, look, anything's possible, Tom, with a creative accountant. Now...
Could you two just not talk anymore?